Welcome back.
Yeah. Unfriended. You don't understand what I mean. Okay.
Offended, unfriended.
I'm ready to learn.
What I mean?
I'm ready to learn.
All right. How was you guys' weeks?
Yo, I'm excited. So I've been doing my own thing now, Travel Tuesdays.
Here we go.
So I sat courtside at the Sixers game. It was Sixers Bulls. So now I've seen LaMelo Ball play. So I went to see his brother Lonzo Ball play. And I went there, and, it's great. I cheer with the fans. And we'll talk about it later, but, shout out to Plush Vodka, because I went there for a meeting with them on a Tuesday, and then I stayed an extra day in Philly to go to the game.
I'm going to make Jesse a drink.
Yeah, why don't you make me
That's
something
Plush
here?
Vodka.
What is that?
That is going to be the only thing you hear me talk about for a long time.
Is this the new sponsor?
Yes, it is.
Just say surprise me.
Shit, let's
Surprise
go,
make me
baby.
something yummy.
Yeah,
Really
literally.
pissed me off.
Make me something yummy.
Oh, God.
No. Dealer's choice. You remember they tell bartenders
Oh,
that?
God.
Like, after you just call me chief for 10 minutes straight, and I finally show up, and I'm not Indian, you want me to surprise you with a fucking drink. Because that's what Indians do on reservations.
Oh, wow.
They make cocktails. Nice, right?
You don't want to mix it?
No, I'll mix it because I'm...
Driving.
Because, yeah. Wow.
It's
Plum.
By the way, the secret to a
love
good
it.
drink is white cranberry
Yes.
juice.
Always.
So,
That's good.
And look,
That's good, yeah. I'm an adult.
8 times distilled.
That's nice. Yeah,
Yes.
Talk to me about this plush.
And plush.
Plum flavored, man. I'm a plum fan. Listen,
Yes,
I'm a plum
this
guy.
is a nice treat. I had no idea this was going to happen.
Yes, I know.
I'm a plum fan. We're a plum household.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna have like when I'm finally moved into the new spot.
You're going to grow plums.
I am in the greenhouse. Yeah, for sure. Because
Like not the white plums, the were they purple? The
purple plums. Yeah. What do you mean?
Dark
The
plums.
inside.
So-
Yeah, because the inside some are white,
So-
some are purple.
So you've had enough of the white shit, and you want
Yes,
some dark plums.
I want.
Yeah,
purple.
no, I'm with you. I want some dark plums too. Give me that soft
What
dark
about purple,
plum, baby.
baby?
Some dark plums.
What
baby.
about purple, baby
Go
girl?
right. They're gonna go nice with the fig trees.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
Let's hear about plush plum vodka here.
no,
It's
so
fucking phenomenal.
it
These
is.
two combined, the white cranberry juice and plum vodka.
I know.
This is phenomenal. Where is this
I wish I
gem
could
been?
say that I'm actually
gluten free.
gluten free, 8 times distilled.
Ooh, baby.
Well, a
Americans
lot of
do it-
vodkas are gluten free,
This is
Exactly.
dangerous.
Do it
Let's
out
talk
of
to him.
Jacksonville,
but it's
Florida.
delicious.
But listen, I love the team behind it.
Jacksonville, huh?
Yeah, Jacksonville.
It's,
And-
it's
Ready to
this
go.
baby.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. No, we're gonna
We can
drink
flare this bottle, baby.
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah, flare away. Yeah. It's gonna get. He's gonna overdo it. He's gonna fucking knock this drink, smash my computer.
Good. He listened. But we'll talk about them throughout the podcast anyway. But so I sat courtside. Great game. You know what? It's crazy as a New Yorker. Like, I'm not jumping on the hate New York train, but I do have to highlight certain things that are fucking annoying. Like, I sat
Oh, I got a
courtside,
story like this.
row 1 for $200. Last week I went row 4 in Charlotte for $220, and it's like I'm in these other stadiums because I can't sit there home because
We
I-
come from the Mecca. The
have
pressure
to pay-
alone will get you.
I have to pay because Spike Lee is down
Yeah,
there.
man, it's the
Like,
Mecca.
That's kind
Shameless
of
plug.
annoying. Yeah, but it was a great game.
But I mean, that's what it is.
I'm
Honestly,
excited,
you know,
yeah.
because if you go to the Staples Center,
I'm
what's
paying for Jack Nicholson.
what I'm saying?
Nah,
like, what's
Staples
the,
Center is the same thing as New York. You're
That's
talking
what I'm
about
saying.
LA.
That-
like,
that's my point right
no,
here.
but
Like,
I'll be honest with you.
what is courtside at Staples
Yeah,
Center
but I'll tell you
cost?
this.
Probably the same, if not more. Maybe
As-
more.
and
Yeah,
that's
but
what I mean. You're also
the
paying
Lakers,
for the
'cause
experience.
I've sat courtside.
Both
Go to a
Staples-
Clippers game.
I sat courtside in Clippers, and that was actual
Probably a
courtside.
quarter of the price.
It was $800, and I was surrounded by celebrities.
It's the
But
same
that's the
thing.
difference. But I was surrounded by celebrities.
Yeah, because the LA,
These times I wasn't surrounded by
the
anybody.
Lakers is like a
Right,
celebrity
right,
name.
right.
Yeah, it's a basketball team,
Yeah.
but it's
The Lakers, Knicks, and Celtics are storied
Yeah.
franchise with
But my
celebrity
point
fan
is,
base. But yes,
my point is that regardless, no matter where you go, I mean, no matter what you're going to see at the Garden,
you're gonna pay
Yes.
for
it's
it.
more expensive. No matter
Yes.
what you go to see at the Staples Center, it's going to be more
Ranger
expensive.
game. You're not spending anything less than $150 for a Ranger
Right.
game.
My point is that like that ticket is going to be more
not bad.
expensive at Madison Square Garden than it's going to be in
Yeah, I'd watch-
Charlotte.
It's up top.
Exactly. I'd rather watch Rangers away. I would rather watch Rangers away.
Sure. I'm like
Well, in our case, we can go to watch them play the Islanders.
I'm also
That's what
thinking
I'm
of
doing.
play for
I'm going
quarter
to
of
the
the
Knicks
price.
Nets game.
right. Go to Brooklyn
I
game
haven't bought the
instead.
ticket, but I'm going to buy it in Brooklyn, and for $2 and change, I will have very good seats that I've already
Right.
stalked. Once I commit to it, I'll buy it.
But I
If-
did a
if
I did
you're
a show
going-
myself.
what?
I did a show on Wednesday. I went.
Yeah,
I
where'd
did
you go?
Tuesday. What do you call it?
Travel Tuesday.
Travel Tuesday myself. Well, first I went to Mohegan Sun and didn't gamble, and I just ate my face off.
You went to a buffet?
No. We just
Buffet?
ate. My
Oh, you
face
went
off.
nice.
Yeah.
Casino buffets are lit, though.
right.
Don't let them fool you.
Casino
No.
buffets all lit.
Crab
But-
legs all day.
Casino.
That's
certain
hangover day.
casinos. Mohegan Sun's a little different
Why?
Yeah.
because it's a casino, but it's like
You know, I've only been to Mohegan Sun for a flair competition.
Mohegan.
Yeah.
What about Foxwoods?
I've only been there for a football draft.
Oh yeah, that's
Whose
right.
idea was that?
That's what
It
that
was
was.
mine.
right?
That was the
Mine.
worst
Foxwoods?
idea ever.
It was the best idea. Football
was
draft.
awesome.
Thank you.
That was an awesome
It's the
idea.
only thing we've done in 10 years.
He's got a point there.
What do you
Thank you.
mean? We
Our
went to the
football
draft and we left.
sucked. We did 2 of them in the back of fucking road trip.
Well,
They don't know
that's
road
true.
trip.
Exactly. That's the point. That's the fucking point. They don't know road trip because
Well, now
it
they're all
doesn't
E.
even exist.
But anyway, I went to. Then the next day I went to Tom Segura in Ridgefield, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Had to wear a mask the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah,
It
sucked.
You know what?
And not
Indoors.
only that, whenever
Yeah.
I had to drink, they were very big on just pull the mask down, take a sip, and put your mask back on. They told us like 14 times.
You know what?
I hated life, but the show was awesome.
Shout out to the police officer that was at the corner of my courtside seat, 4 seats down. He watched our whole row not wear a mask the whole game and did not give 2 shits because he was fucking over it too. So shout out to my guy.
I commend
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
officer.
Thank
Because
you,
he was
officer,
chilling.
for doing your job.
I'm like, is he gonna say something? And you know me, once the guys to my left didn't do it, I'm like, they gotta go through YouTube before they get to me. So shit.
The only thing that sucked about seeing Tom Segura, he was amazing. The only thing is, I probably saw just about 90% of his next special. So it kind of. It happened. This happened with Bill Burr too.
But that's what
that black
comedy
and
is.
white one. That one that was black and white.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
helicopter story. I saw the helicopter story before it came out because I saw him live.
yeah.
It didn't kill it, but there was a lot of it. But I feel like I
saw
saw
it.
I saw a lot.
Yeah, that's
of
still cool, though.
That no, it was awesome.
You know?
Because once you
Bro,
see, I'm not even gonna give it away. But once you see the bit he has about his kid, oh my god.
Okay.
It's-
I'm looking forward to it. I like Tom Segura, man. He's funny.
Top notch.
Oh, and what's even funnier is today I went to Stop and Shop and I got called a fucking fag.
Wow.
By who?
Some crazy lady, but of course it was
Oh,
funny.
really?
Like I turned a corner.
You got Karen'd.
No. It wasn't.
No,
it wasn't
Karen would
Karening
never say
because
that. A Karen would.
Oh, yeah, I
Actually,
guess
no,
you're-
you're right.
Yeah, I think she would.
no. Karen would,
Karen
would
would
yell
just-
at
Karen could be
me.
anyone.
Karen
at
just wants
this
to speak to
point,
manager.
man.
Karen just wants to speak to
Yeah.
manager.
No, I don't know. Okay,
This was
yeah.
some like short. I couldn't tell if she was an older black chick or a younger black chick, but she was wearing sunglasses and wearing baggy like leather pants that were too long and a big jacket. So I think she was. I turned the corner. I just was walking, and she just kept walking straight at me, and she just wouldn't. And I was like,
So you
I
got-
ain't fucking
so you
moving.
guys played-
I just kept going.
So you played chicken.
Yeah, I
and-
won.
Where's this?
I won and got called a fag for it.
Where'd you play this?
Stop and Shop.
So you played chicken and stop and shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I wasn't playing chicken. I was going.
Yes, you were. You said
I was
you
doing
said
a
you
half
were
a mile
stop.
an hour.
But you said you weren't going to
Yeah,
stop.
because it was annoying. It's like she was walking at me. She could have just went like
I know,
that.
but you.
I would have had to go
volunteered to play chicken.
all the way around her. She
You
could have
played
just
chicken, JB.
one step to the side. Right.
Yes,
But
there you
point
go.
being is, she said it under her breath, kind of. She's like fucking, and I just audibly laughed out loud, and she kind of looked back and kind of shook her head and kept walking. And I just kept laughing.
Yeah, but I think-
because it was hilarious.
Yeah, but
And she probably
Wait,
thought
did
it
you
was
guys clink carts?
no.
because she moved.
She didn't have a cart. She was walking. She just by herself
Oh,
with
you
one
trying to
item.
run her over? I thought this was cart to cart. This is
Nah,
worse.
nah.
I don't know, yo. That sounds like some white privilege to me.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's what she thought.
that's an aggressive.
I mean, I did have fresh tomatoes in my cart.
I just.
I had a bag of tomatoes,
I
and she was
just-
like, "This
Oh,
guy,
man.
this guy's gay."
all I'm saying is the place is called Stop and Shop, and you did not do either.
No, I didn't. I shopped.
You didn't stop. You
I
just
was
shopped.
shopping.
I understand why she's upset. It's not
fuck
called.
her.
It's not called Shop and Stop. Like
In the end, I
you should
won.
have stopped.
But
and
I
then
won.
Shopped.
I won, and then I'm
Clearly
a petty
you
enough
didn't.
guy to know that I won.
The funny thing is that she chose to call you a fag.
She assumed maybe I was walking kind of gaily. I don't know.
Were you popping
Tomatoes. You got
I
tomatoes.
might have-
You
might-
got
maybe my
tomatoes
chest-
in your-
maybe I was
You got
walking with a
tomatoes
straight
in your
back.
car. You were gonna make some bruschettas. You didn't know.
Well, you said it right. Oh, you said it right.
She knew what was going on. She's like, look at this
Folks.
fucking bruschetta eating guy.
eating guy.
And this motherfucker knows how to say the word bruschetta.
Look at him. He works in an Italian restaurant.
Doesn't mean anything.
That's true.
We've had this moment before, by the way. This is deja vu.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
eating guy.
It's Possible. Well, I just wanted to let you guys know.
So talk to me. I'm warmed up.
That's fun.
I'm warmed up. Fire away.
Fun.
All
I'm
right,
excited.
you want to start? You want to take?
I bought a new house.
Oh, there we go. You bought it.
Damn, you bought it?
I bought a new. Did we talk about the? I don't think we did.
Do you have to lift
I
this
think we
one or
did.
not?
No. No.
No, He-Man?
No, but he has to just probably. He probably has to
bought
tear
one-
half of the
You
inside
bought
down
one
and put
properly
something
elevated?
out. Because
I'm knocking down my other house because fuck everyone.
Yeah, it's gotta be enough
You know.
reason. I agree with that reason.
I fought it as much as I could to the very end. That's it. Now it's like FEMA is involved. Beyond Suffolk County Board of Health, but like FEMA is involved.
Dude, how do you get FEMA involved in some
you
shit?
know, it's like
Like, how
hilarious.
do you get FEMA involved?
And here's the
You got
thing.
a national
there's a
organization.
big part of me that wants to fucking fight this.
You want to fight FEMA?
But I want to fight FEMA.
You want to fight FEMA?
I do. I want to fight FEMA.
Are you hearing
just
this?
fuck FEMA, bro.
Not only
you
my
have that voice
not
like we
only
do?
my attorney wife,
Okay.
but all of
Everyone you know.
her attorney
And
colleagues,
friends.
basically.
Said don't do it.
Yeah, pretty much was like, that's a fight with the federal government. Like, not saying that you can't win,
It'll just
but
take forever.
we're talking years of litigation, tens of thousands of dollars. Is it worth it just to be,
and
just to, just
what-
knock the fucking house
okay.
down?
What did
Build a new one.
What did libertarian Jesse say? What was the conversation like in the house? Come on, give me the goods.
I mean,
'Cause there's no way.
you know, there was a lot of F words, a lot of
Fuck the government.
Averly, go back into your room and earmuff this. This is fucking ridiculous.
There we go. That's what I'm
You know
saying.
what I mean?
Like,
Yeah,
we
of
didn't just go
course.
to a calm conversation. It's not worth it.
I
It's
mean,
gonna
okay,
take
on
years.
the
No
other
way.
end, there's also the
No
neighbor
way.
war, right? So it's like, I have a neighbor that calls every day on me. Calls the town every day.
About what?
They're doing work over there, right? I mean, most of the time it's like, I'm just doing yard work. To the point where it's like even the investigators, you know, the town investigators that come by, they're just like, you know, okay, hey Jess, you know,
We're just here to be here.
I see the house is still the same. You're clearly not doing work.
Is that why the guy who owned the house left? Probably.
Well, here's the thing. Like, this is a very hot button
Well,
property.
that person is up for a real shitstorm because that house is getting knocked down
Yeah.
and then a new one's put up. So he's gonna be pissed.
Like you
He
want
or
to
she.
like
You
now,
want you want work? You want construction?
whoever keeps calling the town on me, like you just prolonged this, and now heavy machinery is coming
exactly.
down. Is coming down the private block.
Motherfucker, the Transformers are coming.
So, yeah.
The Transformers are coming.
Like literally, pretty much, talk to my buddy. Like we got it set up. We're gonna bring the excavator in and just have a row of dump trucks, and
You're not even gonna try and save that wood.
I'm gonna salvage what I can. Like, I mean, because the
A lot
house
of
that
that could be
the house that I
salvaged.
just bought, I'm gonna pop a header up and open up the kitchen and do like an open concept, like big dining room, big island, and like really, I'm only gonna really focus on the kitchen, and we'll talk about this. It's boring, but floor plan layout shit.
Gotcha.
But
we'll
so
pick your
yeah,
brain.
I'm gonna be able to salvage some of a lot of the wood. Really, like honestly, I'm gonna hire a couple of my guys just for the day when they don't have anything else. Here's a couple sawzalls. Let's cut out what we can cut out and save, because
That's it.
it's brand new lumber that I paid an arm and a leg for because that was during the peak. I built that
Hell
dormer.
yeah, save that shit.
I built that whole fucking extension during the peak.
Yeah.
Peak.
All right. Well,
So fuck
We'll
it. I
keep
bought
us
a new
updated.
house. Kept my kid in the school district.
well, that's good too.
Yeah. I mean that was the.
That's great.
Yeah.
Especially since you're going back there when it's done. That'd have been a nightmare.
Yeah, it's crazy.
'Cause
And like this is
But
a
at
good
her
house.
age, it wouldn't
Nice
have been
house.
that big of a deal.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
JP, the only thing harder than making friends is making new friends.
Right.
Not for his kid.
This
But
place,
you don't wanna lose your friends.
5-bedroom, 2-bathroom ranch. We're gonna turn it into like a nice 4-bedroom, full 2-bathroom with a playroom, fireplace in the back, in-ground pool.
Getting in that ass.
You
Good for
know?
you.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I mean,
Pool
I'm gonna
party.
live in it for a year while we build a new house, and then I'm gonna sell it. But
Well, it'll be worth
don't
money.
know, but-
So,
So,
you guys
yeah.
gonna shave your eyebrows and shave your head? No.
For what?
Because
What's going
Kanye did it.
Really?
What do you mean?
Really?
Kanye did it.
Why is this? Because I saw.
Did you see the picture?
him and Marilyn
patches?
Manson and Justin Bieber?
bro,
Oh,
shaved-
he's getting heat for that, and as he should.
Why?
For
Because I don't
Marilyn
see what
Manson's
Marilyn
got a
Manson
bunch
has to
of.
do with Sunday service. I don't got time for this type of games.
I think maybe he's trying to forgive him through the Lord.
Well, no. Manson
No,
was
no.
on
What?
was on Donda.
No, what?
Like
what-
they work
That's not the
together.
problem. The
No,
problem
the-
was
the
Manson
thing-
has a bunch of shit going down.
no,
Like
Sexual abuse type
Yes.
of things.
Yeah, but not only that, but
Oh, does he?
But it's all alleged,
Kanye-
regardless.
Kanye-
What do you mean? Hold on, wait. Because I used to love Manson. Like, what is?
He just got his ex-girlfriends talking shit,
Yeah,
saying he did some shit.
Oh,
Probably some Marilyn Manson-y shit.
okay.
Kanye West.
I heard that's all
is not
a
the-
facade anyway. He's not really like that.
I buy that, but the thing with Kanye West, what drives me crazy is that he is, and remember, this is a guy who was a big Kanye fan till maybe 3 albums ago. I still like the music, but I'm not a fanatic of his the way I used to be in the past. But Kanye West makes himself a self-proclaimed authority on things based on his overall popularity and his music genius. And to me, there's a big issue when people try to equate one genius with other situations. This is similar to what happened in politics. This is exactly the way I felt when he met with Trump. I didn't care for him meeting with Trump because he doesn't impact black politics. So I didn't understand what he was doing there in the first place. Then when he ran for president, I didn't understand what he was doing that because I don't think he's the guy. And then now when it came, he's become a religious
but
statement.
he does. He thinks he's the guy.
I get it. And okay.
I hope you don't get it.
No. In leadership,
Oh,
Like I don't hate on
No, no.
Kanye for any of that.
I'm not hating on it. What I'm trying to tell you is when you're a leader, you don't choose yourself. This isn't the 1800s or the 1400s or feudal America. Leaders are chosen because people choose to follow them.
Well, here's the thing.
He cannot tell. Like, listen.
I've never viewed Kanye as a leader, though.
I think that
He's a trendsetter, sure,
think Kanye
but he's an
lit-
individualist to like almost the definition.
lyric. No,
You know what I mean? Like
in the self-absorbed way,
Yeah.
yes. But prior to the death of his mom and the transformations that he's undergone through Amber Rose and then the Kim Kardashian extension family and everything that is that, in my opinion, lyrically and musically, he was a leader at the time. Once again,
okay,
Jesus Walks
loosely defined leader, but
Jesus Walks is something.
I mean, he's crazy. You gotta admit, how crazy. He's so crazy. He made Kim
Now.
go to white people.
now because
He's
you have
dating
to
a
say-
white guy now.
No, now
Do
because
you understand the ramifications of that?
no, this is
Kim
now.
I
Kardashian.
thought once you go black, you never go back.
Apparently, when you date Kanye, that whole rule goes out the window.
No, but no,
He's crazy enough to. She's like, I'm gonna try white.
Nah,
Dude.
Kim Kardashian.
I went for Pete Davidson. Like, yo, fuck Pete Davidson.
Kim
But I like
Kardashian
Pete
is at the point where, she's done. She's earned her stripes. She's done everything she can. She's allowed to do. I think she's allowed to live her life. Like
She wants
I,
to see a
Once
white
you have
penis.
ye, you go back from the G.
I wasn't always a big fan of her, but I am now, and I'm over it. She can she's
This
free.
is delicious.
She's free. Let
This
her do,
plush vodka is
let
fire.
her, let her do her. But Kanye, he's not the authority on certain things, and his trend setting as far as fashion and style has already been pushed to the edge.
Right, so you're not gonna shave your eyebrows and shave your head.
No,
That's what you're telling me.
I never would have. But I'm also old. Who knows
I
if
mean,
that's
yo,
cool?
like, listen, on a real spot, like on a real tip here, it's like Kanye clearly has mental health issues, undeniably.
But does he?
I mean, clearly.
Does he?
And I'm not saying by these actions. These are,
you-
know,
Well, that's
Okay.
self-proclaimed. He
I-
said that. Didn't he say he's
I think
bipolar?
that part of.
yeah, like he's
then why is this-
diagnosed bipolar.
How do you know that?
I mean,
his
okay,
ex-wife
fair.
said it.
You know,
How do you
but
look at
Kim Kardashian said it.
Oh, listen.
Fucking-
Does the conspiracy side of me not believe
No.
that all of this could be a ruse and everything is always planned and set up? Of course.
I don't think it's a full
But-
conspiracy, but I think that he's monetized crazy, and he knows how to do it, and that family knows how to do it. And to be honest with you, I don't see senior Jenner. I forget her name. The Jenner that runs this whole conglomerate that is the Kardashian family.
Kris Jenner.
I think
Jenner.
that-
I don't see her allowing all of this, knowing that the guy's bipolar, except for the fact that she knew how much money this could generate,
I
which
think
it has.
I think Kanye is clearly lost and hurt.
Yes, since the death of his
And-
mom, 100%. I agree with that.
And now from the divorce of Kim, the separation from his family, like I don't know. I mean, like I don't follow pop culture like that, but from like the little bit that I see from just scrolling on the toilet, like he seemed happy. They seemed wholesome.
Who, that family?
Yeah, like from what it seemed like, and then obviously all these other things start coming out once they split up and stuff, and it's like he starts clearly going crazy and saying outlandish things publicly, and then you hear about his bipolar and how he didn't take the meds, and just being someone who has many people around him from the time I was little with mental health issues. Like that's what happens is breaks from reality like that. And it can be dangerous.
That's a prayer circle
and
he was doing too. It wasn't like it was like a
With
Sunday
Marilyn
Sunday service.
Marilyn Manson.
I mean,
and
again,
Justin
like,
Bieber, but
here's-
Justin Bieber's also religious.
Here's my
now, too,
thing:
so-
how does anyone even take that serious?
That's my point. I don't.
Nor should you. Like it was a photo op. Like, is that really a prayer circle? Yeah, sure. I'm sure they were singing gospel
were.
songs and they were
They
were
videoed
doing
the whole
their
fucking thing.
But
Bro.
again, it was also meant to be publicized. So
Which is
dare you.
everyone wore white
Yes.
and everyone knew the
We're wearing
songs
hoods
and
and-
you know what I mean. Like it was a setup thing. So.
Dude, listen, I wish him the best. I still like what he does.
I think they've all gone
musically.
crazy.
But yeah, that's exactly what I think. Go ahead. I can't even with this Kanye shit. I can't. You know.
So you
These-
you wanted to talk about. We didn't talk about it. I don't think.
By the way, I think
The
him
meta-
and Jay-Z made up, which I thought was interesting also.
Oh, we can
Well,
go
of
into
course.
that.
He's always-
We can go into that because I was going to talk about Jay-Z's speech.
What speech?
Oh, Jay-Z's in
Hall of Fame
Jay-Z's speech, he
His what?
Shout out Dame
he
Dash.
shouted out Dame Dash. But okay,
What did he do? For what speech?
he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech.
Oh,
Okay.
when did he get inducted?
Just
Couple days ago?
Just a couple days.
Oh, good for him, man. That's great.
Let's shed light to this situation because I think that
That's important
I'm gonna explain it.
because
So
all the headlines just said, "Oh, Jay-Z shouted out Dame
okay,
Dash."
so
Okay,
let's put this in perspective.
but it was a big deal.
To put this whole thing in perspective, I'll do a fast summary of it. Is that Jay-Z is an artist from Brooklyn who started out, in the streets, and then he teams up with Dame Dash. They introduced him
Dash
to
changed everything.
Dame Dash was a business guy. Dame Dash went to like Ivy League college. All right, so Dame Dash taught Jay-Z and the whole Rockefeller brand to bet on themselves.
Did you ever see any of the story, the original stuff? Sorry to cut you
No
off,
problem.
Gene,
Yeah,
but did
yeah.
you ever see the
Oh, I
original
know,
story?
like, about
Fucking them
the-
just tossing
Of course.
couple
Yeah.
grand into the crowd. And
Yeah.
a
I
couple
was
nights,
I worked
couple
for a
times
mortgage
night.
company that had Dame Dash's mortgage.
Oh, okay.
So I've had to call a few times.
Gotcha.
Not that you ever get him on the phone, but you know what I mean.
Proceed. Sorry.
No. So what happened is
I know what the house was worth.
Jay-Z. So Jay-Z. What people don't understand is he had a 10 commitment deal on one of his albums. 10 commitment, like he had to produce 10 albums.
songs or 10
And-
albums?
10 albums.
10
And
albums,
If you
yeah.
remember, one of his songs,
That's a big
deal.
commitment.
And that's why Jay-Z, if you remember, he said in one of his lyrics, he's like, for 10 years they had me peeing out of a cup. That's one of his exact lyrics. And the point is this, like Jay-Z built that brand, that label, and the proof is in the pudding because there's no other close number 2 in the whole Rockefeller brand.
Who else is in the Rockefeller?
Bingo,
brand?
that would be
I don't know. but-
Beanie Siegel.
all right, so I do
was
know.
a
All right.
Rockefeller
but
artist.
I thought he was Puffy.
No.
All right, so I just didn't know he was part of that.
Yeah,
but go on.
it's Beanie Siegel, it's Memphis Bleak.
All right, I
Wasn't
didn't
it-
really know
isn't
much.
Beanie a Philly dude?
He is a Philly dude,
Yeah.
and Jay-Z created the whole Philly circuit, which was state property. He gave you Beanie Siegel, Young Chris, and the Young Guns. That's what they were called.
Yep.
And then there was that girl Emile who got shipped out. And remember, Foxy Brown was an affiliate, but then she teamed up with Nas and the firm. But the point is this: at one point in Rockefeller Records, Dame Dash, who's from Harlem, offered Cameron the vice presidency of Rockefeller Records without asking Jay-Z. And of course, Jay-Z's like, wait a minute. Like, I built this brand on my back. Like, my vocals are what built this brand. Yes, your business acumen and getting us through doors.
Yeah, but if they would have put out shit product, it didn't matter.
That's the point. So sometimes people have to understand, there's always a fight between artists and management, and
Always.
there's a lot of
Who is-
drama with that. And to me, like,
It's
okay,
a forever fighting war.
Yeah, like-
there's restaurant things like that too.
exactly.
Is
Like,
the
for
kitchen
example,
more important or the
artists
server?
is like 80-20, 70-30, but you have to know the value of your music versus the value of the management. And that's the only thing I can tell people. Like, if your music's not that good, but your manager's getting you through doors, getting you shows, blah, blah,
Sure,
you
you
probably
just
have a 50-50 deal. If your music's fire and someone walks it up to people and they're like, this is a hit, that manager's not really doing anything. So maybe that's a 90-10, So the point is, Jay-Z built that brand. So there was a massive
It
fallout.
kind of brings back to like the Dave Chappelle point, right? Like when you're young and you're
You sign
presented
deals, yes.
with you
sign
sign
deals.
contracts without.
And what happened is
Understanding fully,
There
you
were
know,
a lot
yeah.
of guys, the Leo Cohens and the big name guys that went to Jay-Z and saw the potential. And, you know, I've been in that situation too, where I've been in places where people are like, do you really need that person? Can you cut them off? Those are split-second decisions that
100%.
that people have to make that decision. And, you know, it's like the Locks. If Jadakiss didn't go solo, there would be no money for that group. He went solo, and what the money he
created-
generated
yeah.
kept
Right.
them afloat because they could not sell albums together as a group.
It's the Eminem thing.
Exactly.
Right? He even
It's
talks about it in
D12,
that
and
last
yeah.
album.
So-
For what? D12?
Yeah, like he came up with
He came up with D12,
Proof
right?
and Bizarre and like all those dudes, you know. And he popped and then I mean, you know what? That's the one thing. Like,
But D12
I
really
feel
popped?
like
I
M
mean,
never
they got
really
a
got
few
hits.
enough
D12 never
credit
got a couple
for.
hits.
M tried.
The problem with
He definitely
D12,
tried. He brought
Of course,
D12.
he was on a couple of tracks.
no,
Yeah.
the problem with D12 is that, and we're gonna get back to the J thing, is that, in my opinion, Eminem figured out his own formula, and then he tried to apply his
To
formula
D12.
to D12. Because when I think of D12,
Yeah.
all I remember is a video of the fat guy in diapers.
Right.
And I knew that didn't work.
Right.
Like, I watched that for 2 seconds. I'm like, I don't want to watch
They
it.
should have modeled it
But
after
if
Wu.
Eminem can do that because he was just a different thing when he hit the scene.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
It makes sense. He tried to make D12 like a group of Eminems.
yeah, and
Right.
that
Shouldn't
wasn't
have
gonna
done
work.
that.
Like,
Right.
it shouldn't have done that.
They
He-
should have went towards more like a Wu-Tang model.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that was
That's
what they were doing.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like,
They were
who-
Detroit
I'm like,
Wu-Tang.
who gave them that? Who gave him that advice? But at that point, he was hot, so it made sense. Like, I'm so hot, just do this.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
like, no, it doesn't work for you.
Right.
Okay, so back to the Jay-Z thing. So Jay-Z was given advice and counsel, and people basically told him to pull away from Dame Dash. And Dame Dash also, if you watch towards the end of Rockefeller, he was in what I call the puffy mode. So when you hear that guy, Shook Knight, go on the awards and go, if you don't want none of your producers dancing or in your videos,
Right.
he's not just talking about Puffy. He was also talking about Dame
Dame Dash.
Dash. Because
Yeah.
Dame Dash was in that same I want to be Puffy mode. And just
Well, they tried to do that video copying.
exactly and copying. And I'm
And
gonna tell you,
then what did he say? Dame Dash said I was depressed during that album. That was
exactly.
the second album.
because it wasn't him. And I'm gonna tell you
Right.
something.
And then after that was Hard Knocks. Like,
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you something.
were
What's
happy.
weird about it too, Dame Dash was at a point in his career, which is why music is so hard because personal egos. It takes a very intense level of maturity to keep the goal in mind when you're in the music business because egos always collide and people the lines get blurred. Dame Dash was at a point where he would go to a club and they didn't know who he was. He had
Right.
to hire a publicist so that people knew who the fuck he was. Like Jay-Z would walk into the door and then it'd be like, and he'd be like, yo, let me in. They're like, who the fuck are you?
Right.
Like, I'm Dame Dash. So, like, no, I'm fucking
you're saying-
Rockefeller Records.
yeah.
So I think that also played
But
in
the
my-
other side of it, who was the other guy that when we watched
Biggs.
that video?
Biggs.
Right, I
Biggs
had
Burke.
no idea who I was.
Yeah,
Never
'cause-
heard of him.
'cause-
I knew who Dame Dash was.
Yes.
Didn't Dame Dash date Aaliyah? Or was that
Supposedly, yes. He dated Aaliyah. Same thing with R. Kelly. There's a lot of
No, but I think-
Aaliyah underage stories. Yes.
All right.
Yes, no,
Nonetheless,
there is, yeah.
so I knew of
Yikes.
Dame Dash,
Yes. Yikes is correct.
but I never knew of Biggs.
So no, Biggs is the third guy. And the funny
Right.
thing is Biggs is still around and Dame is not because Biggs never changed his position. Dame Dash was in videos dancing and doing it with the Young Guns and State Property. He also co-starred in the movie, State Property, the movie. So at the end of the day, it's like Jay-Z says in one of his songs, he's like, this is not what we came for. As in like, you're losing sight of the goal. And
Listen, getting a little fame, I can imagine. You know, you get a little.
yeah, no, you get caught up. But like to me, I always tell people,
You hear
I want
this all the time. Like this is like literally like almost the same exact story as like Hobson. You know,
Oh, I remember. in the
that's
one-
what happened with
in the
him.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. So Jay-Z in the Hall of Fame speech shouts out Dame Dash, but I think people are confused. Like, you can acknowledge someone who helped you, was critical to your growth, whatever your mentor, whatever it is, you can always acknowledge it. That doesn't, and
Jay-Z's in a different place now.
exactly, and
He's in a rare list.
exactly.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
And it's not just
Dame Dash ain't in there, is he?
No, and it's not only that he's a billionaire. What makes Jay-Z special, as a example, for lack of a better term, is that here is a guy who is doing things on his own terms. He even says that I don't have to comb my hair. It's almost like, bro, I'm so rich that I can wear this shit into any corporate building and they're gonna listen to me because I don't have to
So
follow
you're saying that
rules.
hairdo is a flex?
It is 1,000%. He said it. So now the thing is,
I always wonder why a motherfucker had that hair.
no, because the hairdo is a flex.
And why
And-
Beyonce's like, all right, I'm fine with
yeah,
that.
she's like, whatever. And the thing is, you can acknowledge what someone has done for you without being indebted. And I think that's what's
Sure.
wrong with the music business and people in general.
I think it
People
shows
feel like,
growth.
yeah, people feel like,
You know what I mean? How old is Jay-Z
because
now?
You did something, because you did
Almost
something,
50.
You know what
because
I
you
mean?
did something
Like,
for me
yeah,
5
water
years
under
ago.
the bridge.
I have to spend the rest of my life trying to pay
He's
you
a
back for that.
billionaire now. What does he have? What, he doesn't
I know,
have
but
You know
to
what's
be-
fucked
hold
up?
on
Now
to
that
it.
you're
but
mentioning
the-
that,
He
that-
don't have to hold on to it. Why does anyone want to hold that burden around their whole life?
Because
let it go.
Because because
beautiful way to do
the
it.
thought process is
Beautiful way to. What a fuck you.
no. It's not.
Think about it.
It's not a fuck you.
But in a way,
In a way, it is. But the point of the
I'm
story
getting
is
inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm one of the first black billionaires, self-made.
yeah.
In the world. Yo, shouts out Dame Dash, man. Thanks for all the help.
Now you're making it a lot worse.
You know what I'm saying?
'cause
Like,
it's true, but I didn't put it like that. I thought that it was one of those like. Listen, Brooklyn, New York. What's it called? Just the way we grew up. It's funny because we grew up with conflicting concepts. You always bring your boys. You make it, we all make it, right? And then there's the eat what you kill. Like, you gotta make your own way. So it's a very conflicting thing because there are people like, if we get him there, we all made it. He gets through the door, we all make it to the door. And there's people like, yo, nah, dog, I did this work myself. Like, nah. I don't owe you shit. And I understand both sides because what people don't understand is, and this is the last thing because I kind of want to get off this talk, but I kind of like it. The last thing is that Dame Dash acquired a lot of industry drama and beef because he was Jay-Z's face. And that's the part that people don't fully grasp. Jay-Z is not going to tell you, the promoter or the club owner or rapper number 45, he doesn't like you. He'll be like, Dame, I don't want to fuck with that guy. And
Right.
Dame has to be like, yo, listen, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Dame's an asshole. Jay-Z's
Right.
cool, but Dame's a dick. Da, 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 da.
Right.
So this is his whole career of being the dick, but I'm just doing what I'm protecting my artists because he doesn't need to get involved in that because he needs to focus on music. I deal with the rough elbows and the beef with the labels and beef. And now here's Jay-Z that was able to focus on that because someone took the burden off. And now that guy is somewhat forgotten. But what we don't talk about is the personalities
yeah, but
clash.
you sign up for that shit. Like
I
that's
agree.
what.
But that's not true. See, you're an artist. That's why you think that way. Because I can tell right now, I'll give you an example. I used to
But
manage.
I'm not just an artist. You know what I mean? Like
I know, but
it's-
you're more on the artist side than manager side because I can tell right now, I managed a group one time, you know that, and they told me, like, it was something, I'm like, all right, guys, we need to get our money together. They're like, no, isn't that what you do? I'm like, oh, I pay for your studio time, your travel, your clothes, your record, and you want me to pay for this too? Oh yeah, because that's what happens. And then when
it's
we
not
all,
a manager's job.
yeah, when we all win, you get your money back. So I take all the losses as I believe in your concept.
But ironically, you were working as a label funding, like you
That's
were
what I
working
was.
more
I
as
was-
you
I
were
was-
more of a label than you were a manager at that point.
And that's what people don't
Because you
understand.
pay a manager to do things for you.
Exactly.
You don't have them pay for shit.
Exactly. And this is why in the music business, people get abused. Managers, PR people. People don't understand what PR people do. They think PR is like marketing, sort of.
It is.
It's
but-
part of it.
part of it.
What a public relations person does for your image and brand is not exactly what a marketing person, because you can hire a marketing
Sure.
person.
Right,
and I think there's a
of
lot of law, it's the same thing like a label. Like you said, people don't understand what labels do. Like all these rappers that tell you stories about, the label robbed me, no, you signed a piece of paper. There was a deal. there was an agreement, and you outgrew your agreement, but you can't outgrow a contract. It doesn't work that way. What you saw Dave Chappelle do is rare. You cannot outgrow a contract, bro. You signed a paper for X amount of days, and in day,
it's
in
not.
day 56, you got smart.
He did.
That's not my problem.
What makes it rare is that he did outgrow the contract. That's not. You
a lot-
can
but
technically. 'Cause
how often does someone sign someone with the intent that guy's going to be an iconic legend? They signed him with
of
that.
course.
He would sell. Listen, Michael Jordan, when they signed him to Nike, they were going to be happy if they made like $200,000-$300,000 that year or some shit like that.
Yeah, I remember.
And he made fucking millions, and they're
Right.
like, "We did it." Like, that's rare. You know what I'm saying? People are trying to make a profit, and the bottom line is this: Dame Dash was instrumental in his career. I didn't think about the fuck you angle, but I do think that Jay, in my opinion, there's too much blood, sweat, and tears because as an artist, he cataloged his life to success. His music is actually about him. So
Right.
it's not like other people who rap about this or rap about that. He raps about his life. We fell in love with his life, and his life evolved. And in his evolution, people fell off. And what I was going to say earlier is that when I do consulting, I always tell people, and they always feel weird when I say this, I go, who you start with is probably not who you're going to end up with. That's not my fault. It's just an observation over time that this guy could be playing the manager today, but for you to get to the next level, you may need someone with more contacts and connect. This guy could be the drummer today, and then you could get a drummer from a bigger band who quits, joins your band, and helps you propel.
we've seen every single one of these things happen.
That's what I'm saying. Like it just
Literally, we've seen every single one of them
Who you are
happen.
with today is not who you got. But the code in the streets is like, no, like you bring your boys with you. It's why Allen Iverson went and booked 30 rooms a night in hotels in different cities while playing basketball, which cost him a lot of money, which is why he's broke. MC Hammer was fucking
Paying
booking
everyone.
100 rooms, 100 boys with him. That's why they go broke, because it's not a winning formula, which is why when the people like Jay-Z are taught it and they understand it, they don't do it. LeBron doesn't do it. And then they become bad guys for it. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You take the boys with you, they get you in all sorts of trouble, all sorts of drama. And if you leave them alone, it's like, this guy's fucked up.
Right. Dan, it's a catch-22.
That was my whole
And if
thing.
I'm gonna lose, if I'm gonna lose,
remember that?
I'll lose like Jay. If that's losing, I'll sign me up.
Yeah.
Right here, sir.
You ain't kidding.
Sign me up, sir.
$1 billion?
If that's losing, I'll lose every day for
But
the
what's
rest of my
fucked
life.
up that you pointed out for me is he is proof of what a lot of people always say. It's not, racism really isn't about the color of the skin as much as it is about poverty. Isn't he kind of a proof of that?
Yes, I'll tell
It's
you.
color of skin, of course,
No,
but
no,
I'm
no.
saying, I
No,
think
I've
sometimes
been saying that for years.
No, well said. Listen,
we are past that
No, well
a little
said.
bit.
You said it. You said it correctly. Jay-Z, another. I love that guy.
that's not
he's
proof.
He's so fucking quotable.
If anyone looked like him, walked into a place, people would probably call the cops just because he looks that way. Oh, look at
No,
that hair.
listen.
Look at,
I'm
you
gonna
know
give
what
you.
I'm saying?
I'm gonna give you
Like,
two examples. Jay-Z, in one of his lines, he says, "How can I help the poor if I'm one of them? I got rich and gave back. That's the win-win." That's the whole line. So it makes sense because he's right. If like you want me to surround myself with people who aren't winning, and then you're gonna look, and then but I'm still expected to be the guy that gets us out of here. So if I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, then let me go fuck with the people that are gonna help me get out of here. I can't get out of here standing right next to you. I'll give you another example. Mobb Deep, when they were signed to 50 Cent, 50 Cent said that the music that Mobb Deep needs to create to make the dollars, their fan base won't allow them to do it,
Right.
because they call it like, it's almost like they're saying that they're betraying their identity and their.
but that happens all the time. It
But
happens
that's
in punk
bullshit.
music.
Because if I'm your fan, I want you to win. And if winning means
Right.
making money, do the pop song.
Not a lot of people
do
think
the
that, though.
crossover record. Do what you have
Yeah.
to do. Because I can't be your fan and be like, let's listen to the same wax song
But that happens
20 different ways.
That happens in every. Green Day, notoriously, Billy Joel was known for getting death threats after they put out their biggest fucking album ever, and then especially after American Idiot, like people were like, "This fucking sucks," but they were the biggest they ever were
Because
they abandoned what they
because
originally
people
did.
are-
Because sometimes you don't want to do the same shit. It
No,
happened to
not only
Oogie.
that, but you're allowed to
You know?
grow. You guys, Jesse is not the bartender guy. He's a real estate guy now. His story can't be the same.
Oh, he can't. Like he says, I don't surf anymore.
Yeah,
I don't
he
fucking
cannot
get fucked up.
rap about. He just said he doesn't drink. You can't rap about things you don't do because the number one thing in music is authenticity.
Right.
So I would rather you give me everything you got about what you know than do what everyone else does, the 6ix9ines of the world, which let me present an image, let people fall in love with it at any consequence, which is death, jail,
Right.
lives being lost.
Problem with doing that what 6ix9ine does, it's
Dangerous.
he's the biggest artist for 2 days, and then he's nobody, and then he's the biggest artist again for 2 days, and then he's nobody.
Because it's a wave.
it's flashes.
It's a wave. So
Right.
you're riding the wave because there's no authenticity.
I would hate all of that. There's no future.
You know what
for
happens?
that.
I'm gonna tell you what happens. When people create that wave, they believe it's sustainable. It's hard to explain to someone riding a wave to the apex that this is gonna crash.
But that's also
no one
why-
believes it. It's just like drug dealers. Drug dealers, when they get arrested and it all comes down, if you ever watch a show and you ask them, they all say the same thing. If they had to do it again, they wouldn't. Because the rush is so high. They make so much money so fast.
yeah.
The cars, the women. But it's a really short-lived life. Most drug deals, the biggest
Yeah.
ones, the best ones last 5 years. Then they're behind bars for 15 to 20.
It's funny though because if you don't really change too much, like that whole like with trap music, like when I hear certain trap songs, I'm like, this sounds like a lot of other shit. I wouldn't want to do it. That's why when I even make trap beats of any kind, it's trap inspired.
Yeah.
It's not a trap beat.
Okay,
It's
well,
not. When I did reggae music, it wasn't reggae music. It was reggae inspired.
Well, here's the thing.
hip hop inspired. I like to do my own thing.
The problem with music, and you know, we've had these
Just,
conversations.
it's so boring
with
to me to
Oogie
do
Wawa,
what
with everybody.
all these other
I
fucking
always
guys
tell
are
people,
doing.
what are you doing it for? Are you making music because you want to make money?
Right, and that's why.
Which everyone claims that's what they want, but that's not always
No.
the case. Some people make music because whether they
They do
realize it or
love
not,
it.
they want to express themselves and they like the art form. They like even their ability.
Which
Some
is-
people fall in love with their ability, which is why
Right.
they rap, they do this and that.
Which
but
is where I'm at.
But they're not. And then what happens is when you fall in love with your ability, you want to believe that your passion and your love for what you do is transferable to sales. That is sometimes the case. That is sometimes not the case. Sometimes you take that and you manufacture something else. Classic example, Common and Mos Def were able to take their love of real music, bars and all that stuff into movie careers
Right.
and acting. I'm sure if you ask Mos Def and Common, would they want to be platinum rappers every album? Hell yeah. But that wasn't in the cards for them. But they did just enough to get enough cameras on them to pave
Because
a way.
they were doing what they wanted to do.
Exactly.
Right, and
But
that's
some
why I
people-
don't do
But some people
a trap beat.
don't stick to that. And to
I
go
wanna
back
do
to
that.
your
I want
other
to do what I want to do.
and to go back to your other point, Lil Wayne was in an interview on First Take, and he said something to the effect that he doesn't believe in racism because no one's ever been racist to him, and now he got a lot of.
I remember that. He got a lot of shit
He got
for
a lot of
that.
backlash. But
He
what
got shit for
what
that.
he was basically saying is, I have so much money,
Right.
and I'm so influential that nobody's gonna interrupt this to express racism because
Well, if you
they
listen
have too
to-
much money to make off of me to be racist to me.
Well, if you listen to what he really said was when he was younger, so this is pre him having money.
No, he had money since 14. He was signed to Baby since 14.
yeah, I know that. Baller blocking.
Yeah, but he
the
wasn't. He wasn't like.
He was never broke.
He wasn't gonna take. But yeah,
No, but again, like he says, growing up, that all the white people, the white cops around him were always kind. Everyone was nice. He never experienced it, and then then
he stepped in shit.
Then he
Yeah, it's
then he
called.
came into money. But no, what he was saying is like in Louisiana where he grew up, it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
he
but
never
we've been
experienced
there.
it,
You saw what it was like. We were in a place where we thought was clearly a ghetto, and it was not.
But here's the thing: it's like this is
Like,
what
it was a
this is what
rundown
the
looking
mainstream
area, but there
media
was-
does all the time.
There's people riding segways,
Is of course
dudes on fucking
Oh,
bikes, probably
but,
selling drugs.
That's
like,
in New Orleans.
But I'm saying-
let's-
Like in the outskirts.
Shout out to the Big Easy.
That's a different story. Like
Sure,
it
but
is. But my point is
nonetheless.
this: is that like I always struggled with this, right? Because it's like
I know you still struggle with it.
Well, it's just because it's like what you were saying before. It's like I've always viewed it as I don't think that it's necessarily racism as
You
much
believe in classism?
as it's classism. Yeah, 100%. Because my point is this: is that poor whites and poor blacks
Don't have the same struggle. That's the difference.
No, but I'm saying they don't.
But they both have a struggle.
But they don't
That's
beef
correct.
with each other.
That's not true.
They don't really. Like if you like you go down to like Louisiana, let's just say, everyone around you, everyone in that trailer park is equally as poor.
Yes, but Jesse.
In fact, Theo Von has a really funny bit in his newest special about this. He's like, he talks about it, and he's just like, where? What did I take from you? You know? It's like, we're in the same place, man. Like
Nah.
I got shit on too, you know? Like,
Let me
and
tell you
it's like it's funny, but again, like that's what I think Lil Wayne is alluding to there, is that where he grew up in the poverty-stricken area that he grew up in, he didn't experience racism because everyone was in survival mode.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this.
Is that fair?
Yes and no. It's fair as it applies to Lil Wayne, but the overall concept is this. I've always said this. Poor black people and poor white people are not in the same boat. They're in the same ocean. And the reason why that's important is because there is a different level that poor white people can, there are steps that poor white people can do that poor black people may not be able. There's different cards that can be played. That's the whole point. And the reason why I say
I'm saying you don't feel like that there's systemic ways that it's kind of washed? Like, let's just say affirmative action is one of them?
Nah, that was an attempt, and we could dive into that too, but hold on. So what happens is, before I get into that...
I mean, affirmative action...
Because you're throwing a lot of stuff out.
I'm just saying affirmative action is like a clear check in the classism
I know, but what
box.
Yeah, but I want to show you
in
something.
my opinion.
Yeah, but... Bro, okay, the first point is this. The proof is this. Whenever the true racist people or the upper echelon, for lack of a better term, want to attack what they tell poor white people and that what they indoctrinate in them is that at least you're not black. That's what it becomes. It becomes you could be with us and we could figure out your problem.
Yeah, I think
You know what I'm saying?
many decades ago that was true. I don't
it's still
think
true
now.
I think what happened.
I wouldn't know, so I can't.
I think
I can't speak on this guy.
No, what they do now is like, listen, you can fuck with us and we can get you out of this situation because you're still one of us. I think that, and I'm not saying this is what he did, but a lot of the Trump train, part of the middle America that was left out, I'm talking about $60,000 and beneath, people who make $60,000 left, part of them being left out was like, yo, we're still connected to everyone else. And Trump, being a billionaire, talking their language and doing this and extending a hand down is like, yo, nah, we didn't forget you. You're with us too. And it's like, damn, here's a billionaire white guy that didn't forget us. And it's like, it's not even, you know what I mean? Like, I always tell people, and it's not a knock on Trump.
A good talk is a
Rich
good talk.
people do not care about poor people because, which is what our whole point of this conversation, they're not incentivized to. A rich person will care more about Lil Wayne, Jay-Z with a hairdo, because there's an opportunity to make money with them.
Right.
Making money off of you and making money with you is two different things.
Okay.
You as an $18,
This is what's tough, is that you say so many things and then you end it on something that everyone will agree with. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, no, of course, but no, like there's so many other wrong things in there. Like,
being good at talking.
my point is this: is that I don't think that people view Jay-Z as someone they can make money off of or with. It's do. Like they don't. I'm just saying, like you're in the club now. Like we've moved to this.
Is he really?
We've moved to, of course. Like I don't even like the fact that that's even a question.
I'm gonna show you why it's a
anymore.
question. I'm gonna show you why it's a question.
The fact that he can walk into any corporate building looking how he does any day of the week and never get turned away.
That doesn't.
He's in the club, Gene.
Jesse.
Here, let me explain. Jay-Z can walk into any bank in the world and get the treatment. I walk into that same bank, I'm getting turned away.
Okay, Jesse.
Because there's a class difference on a incredible scale.
You know what
there.
the difference is? The difference is
Money.
it's not just that. It's when I walk in the building and
It's mostly that.
I'm worth. I'm worth.
when I walk in the building and
I'm
it's
worth a
mostly
couple
that-
100,000.
I know, but
it's
Jay-Z
mostly
is
that-
worth
But
a
Je-
couple billion.
But
you
Jesse,
know, like
but Jesse, JP, I get dressed up. I'm fully educated. I have the money. I walk in there. I get the treatment. Blah blah, and then I leave. And then, okay, did you hear about the Phoenix Suns? The owner's son has dropped a bunch of N-bombs. N-bombs.
What else is new? But go on.
Okay, so now my
Same shit, different day.
Exactly.
But go on.
And that's exactly the point. What he just said. Because so I'm talking to my friend who knows the GM of the.
I'm not saying that I don't care. I'm saying I'm not surprised.
No,
That's what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I'm
and that's why I'm
clarifying
laughing.
that.
Because,
was it with the A?
but anyway, so the guy.
I just like. Listen. I
let
say
me
this
finish the
because.
point, but go ahead.
Go ahead. All right.
The reason why I want to finish the point, I'm gonna make it quick because I want you just hanging here waiting. So the bottom line is this: the guy said the N-word. The GM of the team is black. We know the GM of the team. So I called my boy today. I'm like, yo, for $100,000, I'll stand right next to him and be like, he's not racist, because that's the fucking point. The point is the whole issue is for sale. The whole shit's for sale. I'll stand. I'll be like, I'm right next to him. Racist? What the fuck you talking about?
I told him he could say it. It was with an A.
We were talking.
I gave him the card out of my pocket. I put it in his back pocket.
Wait, are we really talking about this?
the reason-
But the reality is this: this is a guy whose dad, I hate to say this, owns a bunch of black people. He's a team owner. What's the word? Owner. So before people jumping on my throat, he's a team owner. Players play for the team, which means he owns the players. I don't care how you feel. That's the fact. And
He
this-
employs a bunch of people.
Using
Go
the
ahead.
word "own" is kind of putting the narrative into your
Of course it
wants.
is.
I
But-
own.
I don't like that.
I own my businesses.
and people who work for you are your employees.
So he
Yes,
owns them,
I do not
And, when-
own
and,
them.
and how do they address you sometimes? He is the.
Boss.
Okay, that'd be nice.
but not the
Some
cracker.
people- no. I'll give you an example.
He's not cracking his fucking dress on
no,
motherfuckers.
I'll
What are
give
you talking about?
I'll give you an example. When people talk to me, like the restaurant I work at, I'll say those are the owners of the restaurant.
Okay. Sure.
I don't say things like, "Oh, that's the owners." Owners of what?
But
Be-
do you
be
say those
specific.
are my owners?
Some people say those
No,
are.
they're not your owners, Gene. Just stop it.
Of course, I don't say that.
You're
But-
gonna say-
but
come
people can
on.
say those are the owners. and
Those
that
are
can-
the owners
But my
of what?
point-
that,
the
that narrative
establishment.
makes me want to get off this fucking
No, we're gonna get off the
topic.
topic, but
Come
this is
on.
why a lot of black.
It's so CNN of you.
No, it's not. 'Cause I'm not saying that. But a lot of the black people, like the Farrakhan's, those type of guys, will say that athletes are the new slaves, and that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that's what
Farrakhan says that.
Kaepernick. That's what
Farrakhan-
Colin Kaepernick just said to try and get his name back out in the
He
spotlight.
didn't
And
say
it
that.
worked.
When did he
He
say
did.
that?
Yeah, he said it again. He said something along the lines
But there is
of
some
like,
truth to it. We can
that-
dismiss it, but there's some truth to it.
There's not.
No, I
There-
say
Say
Listen,
that they
listen,
own, and
I-
why
no,
are all these
I don't think
players
it's
End of
switching
discussion.
teams?
I don't think
Here's
they're
the thing.
slaves 'cause
End
they're
of
rich,
discussion.
but they are owned.
End of
They are
discussion
owned.
here. They
Kyrie
are
Irving.
not slaves
never
because
said
they
that.
voluntarily
I never said they're slaves.
went into that organization. They voluntarily went onto that sports team.
I didn't say they're
At
slaves.
any
I
moment,
said they're
any
owned.
one
Tell
of them
any
can
one of those-
walk away.
Tell any one of those players what you said, and they
It's the
will all
same
disagree
thing
with
as
you.
it's the same thing
I
as
bet you
using
they
the
won't.
word Nazi.
will.
I bet they-
Okay?
No, not even close.
But it is because they're like these words matter.
The reason why Nazi-
Gene, these words matter.
Like
when
what?
when people say, "Oh God, I'm such a slave to
I
this,"
never say that.
No, you're not.
agree with you.
Like
I agree with you
words
100%.
fucking matter.
I-
I say it all the time too. You know, like I do shit like that all the time. Like, oh man, I got raped today. No, I
they're
did not.
Yes,
I'm
I agree.
starving, but we
You know,
use
like-
those things.
Right.
Yes.
Like I get it,
But that,
No, but I didn't
listen,
say
you
they're
lose me
slaves.
on the owner
I
thing.
said they're owned.
I know you lose
Well, here's
me
the
on
thing.
that.
The reason I
It's
say
not a
it
bad
this,
thing.
right?
I'm just highlighting.
I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm not
Yeah,
saying it either
exactly.
way.
I'm just-
But I disagree with that because you can shift the narrative with
But
those words.
My point is,
and I
the-
hate
the
shifting
owner's
narratives. 'Cause
son-
that is very CNN of you.
The owner's son dropped a bunch of N-bombs.
And Fox, for that matter, if we're on the fucking same
You
page.
yourself said, what's new to that? I agree with you. The reason why what's new to that is because he's rich. He grew up rich. They own a fucking team, and those are all his fucking basketball players. Fuck them.
All right, there is
That's
employees.
it.
How old's the kid?
I don't care.
I'm asking a question. That's all.
I can Google
It doesn't
I
Is he a
don't
make
know.
it better or
teenager?
good.
Is he in high school?
I think he's older than
Probably.
that. I think he's older than
I'm
that.
not saying that. I'm not
Nah, he's probably
saying that
older.
it dismisses it, but again, like there's a cultural.
Remember the
issue.
guy
Can I just finish
with the Clippers
There's
that got fired?
There's a cultural issue here.
With who? Which culture?
With American culture right now, the divide is so strong. This is my issue. This is my thing.
I see where you're going. Keep
not
going.
to jump off this and like go back down like the whole critical race theory. I think on paper, on a baseline, yes, of course, teach history. Teach the way that history actually went. But the way that it's being stemmed, and now that it's being so politicized and being focused on, all it's really doing is stirring up a new generation of racial divide, because now you're going to have it's like they're basically breeding white supremacists in this. Because if you're told, like, what they think is going to happen is going to be the opposite, is my point. They think that they're going to teach all of these kids at a young age that a bunch of white people that founded this country did a lot of bad things to black people in this country.
And Native Americans, we can.
And they've oppressed them for generations to come, right? And basically, like, what is being shifted? I don't believe that this is the curriculum that's on the table, but from things that I've seen, and of course from a lot of loud-voiced parents are saying that what it's doing is, or what their fear is that you're going to have a generation of white kids growing up thinking that they're bad people. That they're just inherently bad because white people in the past did this to these people. And now what I'm thinking, what I'm afraid of is that all like that form of oppression, right? Like it's like what you say all the time, it's an overcorrection, right?
Yes.
But like so like that form of generational oppression, how is that not going to breed more hatred for so that race? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let's dive into it just a little bit. We're gonna tread the wood, I guess. Critical race theory is more.
Does it make sense what I'm saying?
It makes a lot of sense, but I'm gonna shed a little. I'm gonna shed a little light to it. Critical race theory, when people hear it, like for example, the southern states, Texas, that is the exact feeling. The feeling is like, oh, here we go. You want to explain how our ancestors did black people so wrong, and till this day, yada yada. I understand why. If I was a white person and I was introduced to that concept like that, I would have the same reaction. Because as a white person, I'm saying, if the objective is to move on, why do we keep going back? Which is ultimately
his arguments on both sides.
Yes, which is ultimately the issue in America.
If you don't know about
black people and white people can't agree on how to go back and how to go forward, right? I mean, I think so. So now, critical race theory is more.
I feel like we should just take a blanketed poll throughout America, right? Answer this question honestly, right? Like, do you agree with slavery?
No, of course.
I think people would shock you.
I will go out
because
on a limb.
Gene,
I'm like,
I almost don't want to ask because I might be shocked at the number.
I believe in slavery.
I'm saying
up to a year. I believe in slavery up to a year. Like, okay,
what?
You're asking me, do I believe in the concept of slavery?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I believe, historically speaking, powerful civilization.
I'm saying right now.
Right now, no. Do I believe that somebody should be enslaved right now? No.
Right now, no.
But do I believe that slavery did exist and should have?
Oh, I'm not.
At the time that it did, yes.
I'm not debating its existence.
It's a law. Because it's the law of the jungle, JP. What people don't understand is, and this is why race is so crazy, because indentured servitude, which we all understand, existed at the same time as slavery. No one talks about it. That was as unjust as...
We learned about that in school,
but
for sure.
Other than the technical lack of being a volunteer that slavery presents, it's literally just as bad. The difference is, as a potato farmer in Ireland or whatever you were, you said, I'm going to go on this boat, I'm going to go to America, and I'm going to owe you this many years for this exchange to get me there. As opposed to you, come here, we're shooting up the whole village.
It was still very authoritarian.
Yes.
You're saying, well,
so
one side...
is, do you see how one is presented? One is almost summarily dismissed because it's dealing with just white people. And then the other one is fully exploded on both sides.
Right.
To show, the historical might, power, and then so back to the critical race theory. The idea is to study the effect, but I understand your point. It's not to drag out the fact, because part of what America struggles is people don't want to speak about the lingering effect because they don't want to admit that there's still some today. The idea is we got over this, and there are people who are saying we didn't, and there are people saying that we did. And to me, if there's two sides to an argument, then it hasn't been achieved. Whether you agree that it hasn't been done or we have done it, Mitch McConnell said that America is forgiven for slavery after electing the first black president, Obama. You can look that up. That was something he said. He said America's been forgiven because we elected. And I get what he's saying.
See, this is what.
But
can I just pick that apart?
It is
absolutely
11,
ridiculous to say
12.
that. I
no,
agree
but
with
I understand how a guy from Kentucky can say some shit like that. He's saying we've come so far from fucking killing black people on a plantation that the president's black. I don't want to hear it.
We're good.
Yeah,
right.
I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
But
all right.
I get what he's saying.
But
at the same time, what he's missing is that's one guy. There's a bunch of other people going. There's a lot of shit like mass incarceration, redlining.
Right.
Like we got mad shit to worry about. But he is one of those people
See, that's
that
the
wants to
thing.
get to end so bad. He wants to get to the end so bad that anything that looks like the end, they get excited about.
Sure.
So,
Well, absolutely.
So as excited as you are about the end result,
This is
let's
why people like myself, and I'm sure a lot of other like conservative-minded folk are along the same lines as this. Is why are we wasting time and energy on statues? Why are we wasting time? Hold on. Why are we wasting time on all of these things when we should really be focusing and going after the institutions?
Okay, because
redlining is a thing. When you go to become a real estate agent, there's a huge section.
Really?
Oh God, because if you get caught.
Someone
Recently on Long Island, a real estate agent, two of them actually,
No way.
got caught
Long Island?
for racial discrimination. Like they weren't showing specific houses to
Black
certain people.
Brown.
It was actually, I think it was flipped, and this is what they got in trouble for. They weren't showing a white family houses in like CI or something like that.
Gotcha.
It was along those lines, right?
Yeah.
But it was like clear.
Discrimination,
like big time.
Okay.
And then maybe that's what it was. There was a black family that he was also that was interested in another house, but it was like outside of the Central Islip area, and he said, "Oh, there was already an offer in on that one."
Gotcha.
Took a lower offer from the white family, put them in there.
Oh, wow.
And so it was really fucked up, like what he did.
But can I
it
tell you
was
something?
clear as day
You know what's
discrimination.
scary about
but
that whole shit too? Like, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. And here's the second level to that. It is possible that the white families in that neighborhood do not want a non-white family to move into that neighborhood. It's possible that it was communicated to the real estate agent, "Hey, who are you? Oh, I'm the new realtor for this house. This is what we would like to see here." I'm not saying that's okay. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just showing you there's so many layers to how deep the systemic goes. So I understand what you're saying. And to me, like, you brought it up one time when Morgan Freeman said the only way to do it is to stop talking about race. But the problem is, when you stop talking about race, there are white folks like yourselves and a slew of people we know who aren't part of the problem, and they can move on. But there are people who are part of the problem who want that to happen so that they can just continue to hide
what they're doing.
What they're doing, because
Right.
it's like, oh, it's not a problem no more. No one's targeting me.
Never thought of it that way.
It's no different than the
It's
drug
a
dealer.
teaching moment.
Yeah, it's no different than the drug dealer in the neighborhood. He wants the cops to go away because I'm dealing drugs. So there's no drug dealer here. There's no drug. Are you calling my son a drug dealer? You calling Mike? No, I'm my son.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I believe that the focuses are just in the wrong areas. You know what I mean?
Jesse?
Like Gene, like honestly, is the KKK really a fucking problem in America? No.
Yes.
Why?
Okay. The reason why the KKK is a problem in America is a couple reasons.
They don't even fucking
Slow down.
exist anymore.
The reason why the KKK is a problem is because we can't trace the lineage. And I need you to understand this and really conceptualize this.
Hey, whoa. Explain this one right here.
Okay.
So you're saying that there's lineage. There's
Yes.
If you're born into it, that's it.
I'm not saying that's it.
Okay.
You said what
Well,
is the issue?
there's that guy who disproves that, but go on.
You said
Fuck, I forgot his name. He was
I know
on
you're
Joe
talking about
Rogan.
the guy who changed and he was going around.
No, the guy who's taking KKK members' fucking robes because he would change them. The black blues guy.
Okay, but the issue with the KKK is that there's a reason they wore robes and they wore masks. The reason they wore masks and robes is because they were in the upper echelon and critical positions in our society, and they could not be caught wearing that. They were judges, they were cops, they were lawyers, teachers, and my point is they impacted a lot of shit that people don't realize. Second of all, I hate to say this, but I am fearful of children of racism. I don't know that every child is intelligent enough to say, you know what, my dad's crazy. He really has this all wrong, and I need to do some soul searching.
Well, it goes deeper than that.
You know what I'm saying?
The reason why it goes deeper than that is because if you have a father that you may disagree with the way he thinks, but then you're jumped by a bunch of black dudes, all of a
He's
sudden
right.
I hate black dudes.
Because
he's
he
right.
was right the whole
and
time.
I only say that because a kid in my school, and it always stuck with me. And he would always say, I hate black people. I'm like, why you hate black people? Because in Florida, my school wasn't more than half black, if not half black.
Yeah.
And it just, for me, again, coming from here, I wasn't around a lot of black people, so I couldn't tell you whether I hated them or not because I just didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And then I moved there, and one of my best friends became black. I'm not saying that as but I started learning the culture,
Yeah.
started learning the thing, and I started appreciating things. But besides that bullshit, I always wondered that, and he said, "Oh, because my dad was jumped by a bunch of black guys, and I don't like them." Or you know what I mean? Like,
but
It brings me
It's
back,
stupid.
actually. I won't.
it's stupid. But
We played a show. We crushed it. This is like when Oogie like first started like coming up in like the ranks locally. Like we packed this fucking bar out. We wanted to book another show, and the owner said to me directly, "No, I don't like rap."
oh yeah,
And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I had my bike stolen by a bunch of black guys when I was younger.
I remember this.
I don't like
This is
rap.
a true story,
You guys
by
will
the
never
way.
play here again."
Yeah, that's a true story.
And I
by the
looked at
way.
him and I was just like, "Well, I don't ever want to fucking play here again."
Yeah, we never played
Like,
there
are
again.
you kidding me?
which is scary because
And we never played there
And
again.
like that,
Though you
that
rap
night
in the
blew.
Oogie
And now
days-
again, he was an old fucking white guy. He was
Yeah.
actually he was European. It wasn't even American. But
Yeah.
you know, still, it was just like that kind of fucking like what? So, but like my whole point, what I was saying to you is that I do believe that generation of thought is dying.
It is dying. It's
I
just
don't
not
think so.
dead yet. It's dying.
But I feel like
Bro.
like society, the media is birthing a new generation
I
of
agree
it.
with that 100%.
And that's my whole point
I
of
agree. Listen,
critical race theory. I
listen.
feel like the overcompensation is going to drum up a bad experiment.
no, see,
I'm not sure if I completely
You know,
agree with
I don't think it should be
With,
critical
hey,
race
I'm
theory.
learning. Oh, I feel bad about my act. My
No.
I don't think-
I don't know
Again,
if I believe.
on
if I agree
paper,
with you, Jeff.
curriculum wise,
It makes sense.
I think it looks
But
good.
the fact
but
is-
again, like how it's being taught. When you have and again, this is just going off of videos because now a lot of these teachers don't realize, I guess, that
They're being filmed.
you're being fucking filmed, flying off the handles on this liberal idea, these leftist ideas that you're pushing on.
He's been consistent about
You know?
professors. But again,
Isn't that why Virginia changed?
Well, no, because it's very
you
scary.
know, that's really the reason why Virginia changed.
100%.
It was because of this whole issue, and it wasn't even necessarily about critical race theory. It was about, and this I got from I think it was Rising Matt Taibbi. He said the issue was these teachers are having closed groups now and leaving the parents out.
yeah.
Of the curriculum.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because like the incumbent governor said, I believe he said verbatim that no, parents don't get a say in what their kids are taught.
And by the way, a lot
Yeah, but
of
I'm
the
not
people,
sure
a lot of
why
the
would-
people that
but-
changed over to Republican because they did a poll, a lot of them were Asian and South Asian.
Yeah, but
which would
here's
be
my
Indian.
question.
of course, because they see this.
Yeah,
they
but
see the
do-
authoritarian change.
I know, but do you think that parents should have effect?
They should at least know.
Okay, because my whole thing is like,
We're talking about
we
not
should have a
knowing at
say.
all.
Okay, because
Gene, like that
I
also
don't feel
comes
like
back
every
to the school
parent's
choice
educated.
thing. Like if you don't like the curriculum, or the way that the curriculum is being taught for your child in this school,
You can
you
move
should
them.
be allowed to move their school or switch schools.
Okay.
Not necessarily tell that school what they have to do.
I know, but
But
see,
again,
now,
you should-
now I feel like him because I've had this
That's what
conversation.
board meetings are for. And,
I've had this conversation in the past, and
the big problem, I'm sorry not to cut you off, but like
Yeah.
the big problem, because like, again, on paper, like this all works in a normal functioning society where people have respect for one another, but like in a true democracy setting, you have board meetings, and this is how things in school curriculums have been worked out for decades, is this way: parental interaction with the people that make the rules, the people that, are able to change things. Like that's how it always worked. Now what's happening is you have your administration that is issuing the FBI to deem these parents domestic terrorists if they start blowing up at board meetings about critical race theory. Because there are, sure, call it uneducated, but still, then there needs to be education. You need to be able to discuss, figure out someone in the community that can talk to these parents the way that they can receive information and explain what this new curriculum is. And after that, then let everyone make a decision.
Here's my issue.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying.
And if not, tailor the curriculum to appease the people that are paying your fucking paycheck.
Okay, I'm not saying you're wrong, but here's my issue. The same parent who's mad that we're going to take down Confederate statues you want me to ask them.
That's a generalization.
I didn't say. I'm not saying all of them.
I know. I'm just saying. But like,
let's pick.
That could be one parent out of 1,000.
Pick a southern state.
I'm saying that could be one parent out of 1,000. We can't.
Agreed.
That's terrible.
I don't think
I'm just looking at reality and reality numbers. I understand what you're about to say.
Gene, the problem
and it
is
makes
that
sense.
like these issues aren't happening in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But my whole thing is.
By the way,
these
how long,
issues
how
are
long
happening
has Virginia been Democrat?
4
10
years.
10 years?
10
No,
years?
no.
Well, they've been purple for a while.
But that governorship in that area has been 10 straight wins.
Oh yeah. In what is that? Fairfield,
yes,
Fairfax,
something like that. Yeah. 10 straight wins.
Sure.
That's not 10 years. That's 40.
Yeah, but that just means that.
10
20.
straight 20 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that just means that that's what the people want, and I'm not saying you're right or wrong.
Point
but-
being is that was the sole reason why it flipped.
Okay.
And people are saying this is
Listen,
why.
I'm sure the pandemic has a lot to do with it too.
Exactly.
You
Well,
know?
apparently
Because I
a
can tell you
lot,
right now,
of, a
I
lot of
wanted-
Democrats are losing around
I'm gonna tell you now,
everywhere because of it.
I'm upset that New York. Okay, so Eric Adams, black guy. I don't even know him from a hole in the wall. I know nothing about his policies, and he won. And
Apparently,
I was
he's
upset.
just an extension of De Blasio.
Yeah, I'm upset because I wanted the guardian angel guy, who I read a lot of bad things about him too. I read a lot of shit.
Anyone can drum up
but
bad
he was
things about
also-
anybody.
They tried to kill him because of different things, like he targeted the mafia, blah blah. So he has a decent story on both sides. I wanted him only because I felt a Republican mayor would just open shit up. That's all I wanted.
Yep.
I just wanted a DeSantis.
He'd open shit up and clean up the streets.
Yes.
Listen, again,
I could care if the
it
streets are
doesn't
dirty.
get.
Just open everything up.
But you do, because it's starting to pour in.
It
now.
won't open up.
It's
If
like,
the
and
streets
again,
are dirty,
like
Gene,
I have
it's
a lot
I
of.
get you, but I think
The cyclical cycle.
I think
in
the
that
opening
sense.
up, when I specifically COVID and pandemic related, I think that the idea that
Here's
you
the
can't
thing,
walk
it's-
into a building if
Gene,
you're not
it's scary.
vaccinated, things like that. Like if you go to businesses in the city, like my friend runs a restaurant in the city. She is struggling. She's struggling specifically because of the closure that happened to them, the reopening, and then now the forced regulation.
You know what's fucked up too about that whole regulation thing? It's not just people who aren't vaccinated that go. I'm vaccinated. I won't go in New York because of it.
Because it's
fuck you.
It's too much stress.
You tell me I can go in
The
now
idea
because
that I
I'm
have to go to
vaccinated?
New York.
Fuck you.
The idea,
Again, like I'm saying, the problem is that it's starting to spill over into the tourist areas, right? So like,
Yeah, of course.
I have too many friends that are detectives. A few that I'm speaking of in
I'll take
particular
PBA cards, but go ahead.
are in major crimes, right? So they deal with homicides.
Nice.
And last weekend alone in Brooklyn, in 24 hours, there were 4 homicides in just their area.
Okay.
It's like we're getting ready to go home and nope, Another kid was just killed. And this is happening every single weekend. It's not being shared. You're not hearing this but like I'm saying, I'm getting this firsthand knowledge from the guys that are in there. Gene, when I'm telling you, like they're saying that it's like, and now this is even going like older cops that have been on for a while. They're getting ready, pretty much forced into retirement now. But it's like this is getting as bad as it was in the early 90s.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. Do you think the forceful mandate of vaccinations for police officers, firemen, and just the overall treatment since defund the police have, and listen, I know it's a difficult thing to say, but do you really think being a police officer is a job? Do you think the enthusiasm to protect the communities is as high as it was at different times in New York history?
Well, I mean, okay, that's a sort of loaded question there.
Yeah, it is because
let me explain
it's a full problem, and I'm not blaming police officers. I'm fully blaming De Blasio. Right. I'm fully blaming Cuomo. I'm fully blaming Biden. I'm fully blaming.
Well, you can't. This is straight De Blasio.
Defund the police.
Right.
But I blame all of it because I've always been specific. Defund the police union.
Sure.
I've never had beef with cops, but keep going.
The problem is that what they're allowed to do has changed dramatically.
I agree.
How they're allowed to do
parents
things.
Too.
You know, like, so, okay. As a libertarian, the idea of like stop and frisk was awful, right? Like that's just like
ready?
Fucking atrocious. But
can I say something?
Statistically, it fucking worked.
And
it cleaned up the city, and people weren't getting robbed. It brought tourism back to New York.
Stop and frisk. Okay, we watch all these fucking Marvel comics, blah blah. I'm not gonna do another quote because you didn't like the last one. But there's a concept of necessary evil that people struggle with. Like, we live in a democracy. We live in a world where we have freedoms, but freedoms have a price. It has a cost. And one thing about being American that fucking pisses me the fuck off is that people don't understand that freedoms come at a cost. You have the freedom of speech, but you can't yell fire in a fucking mall. Why is that? Because it doesn't fucking make sense. Just because you can say whatever you want doesn't mean you can yell fire in a mall.
Because that incites violence.
Yes,
it puts
it's a
people
safety
at risk.
concern.
Right.
It can kill people. So, like, stop and frisk. Like, I think I told you guys the story once, but one time I was pulled over like 3 blocks from my house in Brooklyn, when I had a house in Brooklyn, and the police officer goes, yo, can we search your car? I said, and he's gonna be like, you complied? I said, you can search my car. I have nothing in my car, but just so you know, do it, but I'm aware what you're doing is wrong. Now, why did I say all that? Because, yo, dude, I had to check him, let him know that he's wrong. But at the same time, he has to do what he has to do to get guns off the street. Because guys who carry guns look like me.
What do you mean?
Guys
Not anymore.
No. At the time in Brooklyn,
they look
New York,
like me.
Guys who carry guns in that area
look like me.
You. Yeah.
So,
okay.
How will he know the difference?
Because guys that
Stop
carry guns in
car.
my area
look like you.
Look like me.
Yeah. So
minus the dreads.
So my point is,
well,
the issue with stop and frisk for me was, are we stopping everyone?
No.
If everyone gets stopped and frisked, then so be it.
Right.
No.
If you are now picking and choosing who you stop and frisk, I'm pissed off.
I get what you're saying. Fair.
And
Fine.
I get what you're about to say.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because the libertarian in you just had
He's like, the government can't have that. The government can't have that type of power.
No, it's
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's not that.
Yeah,
It's
I get it. But I don't have a choice.
How the fuck did this happen?
Okay, as a black person in the black community.
You know how long we've been on this shit? This came off of Jay-Z shouting out Dame Dash. How the fuck did this happen? I hate y'all.
You know what? I'll give you another classic Jay-Z line because you know I love to do that stuff. Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. No, sorry.
Yeah.
In My Lifetime album, one of the best, he has a song, Marcy. And he says, I'm up the block, across the street, and around from where the pimps, prostitutes, and the drug lords meet. So my how I look at that is, wow, this guy's talking about the intersection of crime in the
Marcy Project.
in Marcy Projects or in black neighborhood. And this is why when I say things like, you could search me, I don't give a fuck, because black people and urban people in urban environments have to make a decision. How bad do you want to be safe? If you are not a criminal, then cops should not scare you, right? If they're not violating, your rights,
right?
If they're not violating your
but
rights.
how many stories you see of cops just shooting motherfuckers because they're trigger happy? Like, oh my god, I thought I'm looking.
I'm not gonna sit here as a black guy on the podcast that says, "Yo, it's okay for cops to shoot black people." What I'm here to tell you is that.
Yeah, don't say that.
Yeah, I would never say that because I think that's asinine. But what I'm here to tell you is that police. Okay,
I gotta hear this.
we've been through this a million times. All bartenders steal. No, I don't believe in that. Okay, there's a bartender that gives away a free drink. There's a bartender that stuffs the register. There's a bartender that fucking drinks on the job. At some point, you are desensitized to the job, and you say fuck it, and you do something that can be deemed as stealing.
Which taking a shot and not paying for it can be deemed as stealing.
Yes,
if the policy
your girlfriend walks in,
no
you've been
shots
working
allowed.
50 hours,
Right.
and she's getting a fucking free drink because the only way she can see you is by coming to the job that you've been working 50 hours. So fuck the owner, fuck the manager. What do you want, babe?
I get it.
Fair.
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
So
Fine.
a police officer, at some point, you see so much of the same shit. The desensitization is real.
Nope.
I know you.
Nope.
You may have cops.
Gene, no, you can't. It cannot be.
You got to be held to a higher standard.
Exactly.
Facts. That doesn't mean they don't.
Then
do
a
it.
bartender.
I'm not
Facts.
saying that.
doesn't mean they don't do
They
it.
should be held to standard.
Then
That
they
doesn't mean they break the standard.
Then they shouldn't be in that position.
So how do you enforce that, Jesse?
You fire them.
Based on what? We won't even fire the cops that shoot people. They get
then this brings you back to the union.
Yes, they get desk leave, administrative
brings
duty,
you back to
whatever,
the union.
and they
Brings you back
come
to the
right
union.
back. So my point, exactly. So like I
Brings you back to the gang.
You think I care about a cop that sleeps in the cop car? I don't care if he shouldn't be fired. Take a nap, knock yourself out. The one that's shooting someone that he shouldn't be shooting, or making the wrong decision, or arresting someone for the wrong reasons,
Or
is,
escalating a situation.
is the one I'm more worried about. Like the little
planting evidence,
drama that
or-
they have about who did that and the stealing of hours and da-da-da. I could care the fuck less. But this is where it's at, because they go harder about that than actual death in the streets.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And this is
I
why
get it.
it's such a stressful topic, because I believe in cops.
This is why I say arm all the citizens,
Here we go.
and it takes pressure off of the police officers.
does it
now.
ever?
How?
What do you mean?
Is it really?
You're gonna fuck around
We're
with
gonna do
someone
this
knowing
one?
that they got a strap on them too? I'm not. I'm
Moving
not.
on.
I'm just saying, like,
You think arming New York would work?
I don't
Yes.
have the button.
I think everyone
I'm gonna
that
tell you
wants
something.
to be
Do you think that
and feels
I'm just going to
confident-
answer this for you. Do you think that criminals would have the ability to be armed legally?
Yeah, I think they should be.
Should and would.
No,
and
no.
could.
No, he said they should be.
I
There
mean,
you go.
well, think about it for this.
There you go.
I mean, if they're armed legally, then they're on the
Yeah, I
system.
think
and-
everybody.
what I said?
I think everybody has a
Criminals.
God-given right to defend themselves, 100%.
Including criminals.
Yes, just because you're a criminal, just because you made a bad decision or you.
No.
What?
I'm not talking about people who left jail. I'm talking about criminals.
Who, then people in jail?
No, I'm
well,
talking-
not in jail that are doing criminal shit.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, because they haven't gotten caught yet.
And that's the point.
What do you mean?
People who are actively committing crimes who have not been caught yet are now going to be able to be legally armed, because they are in the little gray area of the law.
Okay,
They
and guess what?
All they haven't done
Those
is not been
people,
caught.
listen, criminals are always going to be criminals.
Exactly.
And if they get caught and they have illegal arms on them, then boom, they're caught.
But now it's legal. But not have legal arms.
What are you talking about?
Based on what you want to do, the criminal.
He's saying everyone should go through the process, but
Exactly.
should be able to.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
So now the
Then yeah.
criminals, if criminals have illegal arms,
Yep.
it's an easier case.
I'm fine with that.
Now the criminals are going to have legal arms. It's going to make it a harder case.
Why is
But-
that a harder case?
Because it's legal.
No, it's not. It's a much harder case when it's black marketed, unregulated guns.
What do you mean?
Because what do you mean?
If you get caught, what do you mean? What do you mean? If you get caught with a gun that's illegal, you go to jail.
Oh, yeah.
Minimum 3 years.
I'm saying, like, if you
now,
shoot
if I'm a
someone or something,
criminal,
they can't trace the
if I'm
gun,
a
but-
criminal and I have a legal arm piece, I can use that to my benefit.
But so can I.
And
So now there's less victims.
so you believe you have no. You're no. What you're saying to me.
We don't know if he's right or wrong. That's the thing,
what
though.
you're saying to me is no different.
He could be right.
Than your argument about the curriculums. It sounds good on paper. There's no way to quantify it. I
course.
can't prove that.
Well, we
I
gotta
can't
put
prove
it in-
that if America.
we have
if New York was
put the
strapped.
theory into practice.
I can't believe if New York was strapped.
All right. Well, how about this one?
Go ahead.
Elon Musk. Some.
He's the best.
Dr. Claw. Yeah.
He's the best.
Dr. Claw.
What's he doing now?
Some guy was
Putting his money where his mouth
some
is.
guy-
Oh yeah,
you saw
yes.
about
I
this?
love that story. And
Oh, and he was like, all right, no problem. I'll sell $6 billion worth of stock right now, literally, if you tell me exactly how you're going to solve
and you
world
know
hunger.
and you know what I thought about right away when that happened?
Game, set, match.
No, I was like, fuck UNICEF, fuck every charity I've ever heard. Because all these people that work for these companies that get paid
Yeah.
should have jumped.
'Cause
the
$6 billion
fu-
you're
This,
gonna
you
tell
know
me
what that
there's
sounds
not-
like to me? Emergency all-store meeting. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
We got
like,
guys.
We got $6 billion.
Yep.
How do we? Even if you stole $1 billion, but you fed a bunch of people with the other 4, I'm okay with that. I go to sleep knowing. Damn, how'd they get $1 billion? But a lot
Elon
of people
Musk
are
has
eating.
what, 200 and something billion
Almost
dollars,
300
right?
at the moment,
Almost
but-
300
well, he
billion
does-
dollars.
this is
Worth
the-
$6 billion
You know what's gonna happen?
would be a blip for
You know
him.
what's gonna happen?
But that's why I
True.
said I'll sell Tesla stock. So it comes out of a company.
Basically, he's
So
saying,
that's-
prove to me, show me how you're going to solve world hunger with $6 billion, and I'll give
But
you
this is
$6
bullshit.
billion.
Because
but it's
you're
a
going to
lie.
tell me $6 billion
It won't
isn't
work.
donated a year throughout the whole entire world? Of
I
course it
doubt.
is.
I doubt. I doubt
I
that.
think it is.
And first of all, $6 billion
Not
is
used.
Not that
used.
$6 billion goes
Donated.
to it, but donated, sure.
Just,
I'm not talking about ghosts.
JP,
Between
JP,
canned goods and
$6
dollar
billion-
donations.
$6
come on.
billion can't help world hunger because that would be like giving every person in China $5.
Nah, less. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in China would get $5.
Right.
Yeah.
$6, yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause-
so-
yeah, no, $5. It's over $1 billion
Yeah,
people.
so we,
Same thing with India.
Yeah, so
Everyone get $5.
how can we solve world hunger?
That's why he said,
with $5.
show me
Like
how.
This is what, but this is the people that can't do curriculums. This guy is going to tell the math teacher that they can't do it like this anymore because he can't even figure out that $6 billion is like 30 cents. Oh, but then he's right because 25 cents.
It's less than $1
No, but he's
a
right.
person.
No, but
Listen,
Sally's
hold
trying
on.
to say
You
for like
guys- you guys are
25
breaking it
cents a
down.
child.
But listen,
we can
it's
say-
also-
they should say for 25 cents a child we can.
And
So-
the guy
Listen,
said,
again,
to
is
wait,
six-
hold on. To,
Sally Struthers.
It's not 6 billion. There's not 7 billion homeless people.
No, hunger we're talking about.
Right.
World
or,
hunger.
or world hunger. There's not 7 billion.
Africa, India, and
But
South
then again,
America.
world hunger. How many people in the world are probably hungry?
You guys are looking at this the completely wrong way. They're not going to take $6 billion and split it up equally between everyone that can't get
they're
a
gonna
meal.
get food.
They're not even going to get food. They're going to
Kill them,
allocate.
and they're not hungry no
They're
more.
going to allocate the funds to local food banks. They're going to open. They would use that money to open up farms.
Yes.
To grow food
Yes,
and
I agree
give
with that.
jobs and give away
He's
the food
right.
to
If you
food
open a
banks and
farm-
food. That's
and-
what the idea.
I
would
was
be.
liking G's thing. They're gonna buy bullets with the 6 billion, and that's
just-
how they're gonna solve
if they're
world
dead,
hunger.
they're not hungry.
If they're dead, they're not hungry.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
Because you know Jesse strapped all of New York, so if they're dead, they're not.
But that's the thing is that
Hey, dude, you look hungry. Pap, pap. I just
exactly.
solved world hunger.
If I'm strapped, who's
I'm
coming at
fucking
me with
around.
that?
But I'm just saying, what?
Who's shooting me if I'm strapped?
It depends. Do you have a pizza slice in your hand? Because I'm fucking hungry. Because I'm fucking hungry.
All right, let's move on.
I'll go
You
down that
motherfuckers
road.
took up almost all of this show.
No, we didn't. Keep going. I'm excited. We're having fun today.
No, it's fine.
Plush
Yeah.
vodka's here.
Plush vodka's here.
Plush vodka.
I'm
So
living the plush lifestyle right now. Go ahead.
I do want to go on to that, but you know what? Because it's going to be quick because we've been talking
Everything's
about
quick
it.
from
We
now.
talk
You
about
want
it a
us
lot.
to speed up? We
No,
can do
no,
a
this
speed
one is
round.
going to be quick because, number one, we talked about it, but fucking
ahead.
Gene was right. And you know what?
What?
We didn't see this. Brady himself
America.
even said he should have hung on to the ball because he lost the leverage when he gave it away. Out of Brady's mouth.
Brady said the guy should have hung on to the ball.
Because he lost leverage the second he held it over. So when Gene said they extorted the guy,
Extorted.
I don't know. He might have been right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Can
But
we?
it's not only that Gene was right. It's like Gene nailed it on the head. Now, I don't know if he watched the Monday Night Peyton Manning thing, but he didn't even say that he
No, I
saw
didn't
it.
see it,
Because he
no.
would have said, no, actually, Brady said that. You're all fucking stupid.
What did Peyton say?
No, Peyton was like, yeah, all right. Brady was, it doesn't matter what Peyton said.
Yeah, Brady said that's true.
But
Yeah,
on the
that's-
note, when I said Brady's going to give him a special thing, he gave him a whole Bitcoin, which is at this point is almost 70 grand. So, which could potentially be
My face hasn't moved.
a
yet.
shit ton of money.
Okay, I'm gonna explain you something.
A Bitcoin.
I
He
know,
could
but-
sell it right now and get
Okay.
60 G's.
Okay.
Or he could wait and possibly get more.
Okay.
Or
okay.
he could have held on to the ball and made a half
Okay.
a mil.
Thank you. Like, guys,
All right.
it's not. It's not that it was a 600 touchdown.
Thanks for the Bitcoin,
It's
Brady.
not that it was a 600 touchdown. That's not the value. The value is that Tom
Yeah, it
Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. That's who you're holding hostage. You're not holding the NFL hostage. You're not you know who you're holding hostage? The Hall of Fame. They want that ball. The Hall of Fame wants that ball. Bro, he should have a lifetime pass through the Hall of Fame.
For Super Bowls.
For Super Bowl. Thank you. Okay, if they said he can go to every Super
Lifetime
Bowl
Super
for the
Bowl.
rest of his life,
I would take it.
hell yeah, you would.
Because I could sell
Hell
one or two of
fucking-
those tickets and make way too much money.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, bro, it's you gotta know
Or you could go to every Super Bowl for the
the
rest of your life.
Like, you can have the worst year ever,
serious?
and you can end it
Be
with
like, February's going to be great,
I'm going to
though.
Super Bowl. like
Yeah.
I'm homeless. I live in a cardboard box. What do you
Guess
do
whose
tomorrow?
birthday? Guess whose birthday lands on Super Bowl Sunday again this year?
Yours.
My wife's.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Your wife's. I don't know. Yours is
Good.
in August. I don't know why I
My
said
wife's.
yours.
My kid's birthday is February 5th. Her birthday is February 6th.
All right, we'll do a party.
It also happens to my father. He's the 4th, so I
Yep,
get it.
there you go.
Yeah. It happens.
Yep.
But I just wanted to shed light on
Yeah,
Gene
no,
being
that's
Tom Brady
that's
could
not only right, but exactly right.
And Tom
on what
Brady
he
could
said.
even-
Fuck
Nailed
him
it.
for that, though. I hate him for
hammer,
that.
nail, smash.
This is the guy
Gino.
who walked away from New England.
And I think
He walked away from a New England dynasty.
No, he walked
you
away
think
from
he cares about
stress.
shit? You think he cares about shit? He cares about winning.
he didn't give a fuck about New England anymore.
Exactly. Fuck that ball. Give me
I
that
was
ball
trying
back.
to start another one. All right, this is another quick one because we talked about it a lot. But you saw that you guys saw the post I texted you. The LGBTQ forgave the baby. It says he's cool to hit the live stage again. He's okay to, but Dave Chappelle is not.
All right, first of all, I have to shout out 50 Cent because I actually spent the whole day thinking about this because
What did he say?
50 Cent is officially the baby's mentor. I don't know if you're aware about that, but
Didn't know that, but go on.
He has taken the baby under his wing for quite some time. When the baby fucked up with the whole thing, 50 Cent was one of the first guys to come to his defense. And then I still find it, I don't think he spoke to Dave Chappelle, but I'm forced to wonder because it is Dave Chappelle can talk about anything in the world.
I believe he was at the Hall of Fame speech for Jay-Z, right?
He picked the baby to speak about as his opening joke. And I'm just like, man, no. You know, it made me like, because that's what it would take to get the baby forgiven. Because 50 didn't come out and say nothing. It took
This
that.
is a fuck me, fuck you situation,
Exactly.
is what you're saying.
And it's basically like, you know what? And this is why Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. Because as the GOAT, sometimes in sports, in life, you take somebody else's cross off their back. And he took the baby's cross off his
Did he
back
ever? He took
and put it
two
on
of
his own back because he could carry it, because he can shoulder it. And the baby's about to start a tour now. He's going on tour.
He's good. He's good to go, apparently.
Like he's back.
According to the...
But this is exactly what Dave
Sir
Chappelle
LGBTQ
was saying,
KRS
that
TV.
they should not have the power to start your career, which is what they're just doing. Okay, you can go back now.
Yeah.
Like all is forgiven. Like
Yeah, but whose fault is it? Is it LGBTQ or
No,
is it...
it's the babies. It's
or-
the
no, no,
babies.
no.
No.
Label and
What is
management.
Or is it the
Fuck
corporation?
That, fuck that. Go on the road.
okay, I mean we're never afraid of anything, but I don't know if you don't watch TV as much
It's
as I do.
corporations, really. It's their
don't-
fault.
Listen, I don't
At
watch
this
Of course,
TV.
they want to save face.
It's all their fault.
No, because what happens is that
They're gonna get tied up with lawsuits.
they
for years.
they have
It's pathetic.
analyzed their corporate models, and clearly it's more profitable to embrace it than oppose it. And I don't know if you watch random TV, like I watch random TV, but like Uber Eats is running a full-fledged campaign right now with fucking Elton John and Lil Nas X.
And other people, but yeah, I get it.
It's just damn bang. I mean, that's the only commercials I've seen.
Oh no,
they have three different
sports ones too. It
they have
depends
three
which
different commercials. Uber Eats.
It depends which commercial, which channel you watch.
Okay, maybe that's what happened. But I was just
because
like,
Marshawn Lynch and a couple of other guys are on ESPN or during football.
Well, my whole point when I watched it, I'm like, what does Lil Nas X or Elton John have to do with Uber Eats? Like I didn't see it. But what I didn't understand is that
it has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with anything.
Uber Eats will bring you shitty food, and that's just like eating ass.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, all right. Oogie wow. Just keep swimming. So let's keep swimming. No, I'm just no.
It's not.
No, that's not it. I don't think that's what they had.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It's a sound observation.
Yeah, I mean, you never know because there could be a wacko in the boardroom like Jesse. That's like, fuck it. It's like eating ass. Send it. Press play, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he showed the vice president this is a new commercial. So yeah, but I thought that was interesting because like I said, I just think that there's more money on the side of the LGBT than against it. And I don't know if it's because they're an active community that can shame your brand and that costs a lot of money to reverse, or if it's that they actually spend that much money in these businesses.
The problem is there's no one to go after in the community. There's no one to be held accountable in the community. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who's the spokesman for the LGBTQA?
Everyone but them, and that's why they win. And that's my whole point.
You know what I'm saying?
Everyone but them. They have everyone else.
Like my point is this,
them.
right? Like I just said before, the corporate. You know, when it comes down to corporate, right? They're gonna bend the knee to that because they don't want to be held up in court because they're an entity that can be sued, right?
Yes.
Like people can go after the corporation. Who do you go after there?
And the court of public opinion will always go after someone who's being oppressed in some way.
Well,
like, okay, I put it to like Ben Shapiro today, the Daily Wire, his company, they just issued, they're suing the federal government. They're suing the Biden administration because now they have now officially, apparently it was never official, the mask and vaccine mandate. Now they've put in an actual official date, January 4th.
What state are they in?
Federally. This is a federal mandate.
But why? Oh, there's a federal mandate?
There's a federal mandate, and what the fear is that it's coming for all businesses now because they've gotten OSHA involved. So now it's coming not just from the federal government, but coming from OSHA. So now like people like Melissa with 6 employees in her office.
I have to wear a mask.
Not only she'll have to
Get vaxxed.
everyone will have to get vaccinated or OSHA will shut down her office. Like, how the fuck are we here? You know what I'm saying? So either way, my whole point was being sued here, right? So like, here's a problem, here's an issue, and Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire are like, no, fuck you. You know, like we're gonna sue you, federal government and the Biden administration. Someone like a Dave Chappelle or DaBaby, there's no angle, there's no one to go after. Who are you going? You know what I mean? Like they're just Dave Chappelle is constantly being defamed by like some shadowy figure out there.
Actually, he's winning.
He is, but I'm saying they're trying to defame him.
But
If
DaBaby
anything,
got defamed by a shadowy figure.
No, I get it. Listen,
but again, like you know what I'm saying? That's what's so interesting about this, but also very creepy and scary because it's like
I think
whoa,
the reason why is
who's
because
the spokesperson? Who from the movement came forward and was like, Dave Chappelle, you're done.
Well,
was it all Twitter?
I think that
it all people on Twitter?
I think they have enough levers and pulleys. That's how.
Right, but for who? Then whom? If they have levers and pulleys, then there's a fall guy. Then there's someone sitting in a public sphere that could be the fall guy.
I think that
you know what I'm
the
saying?
LGBTQ community, in my opinion, they have strong bases in the Hollywood and in politics, which is why they're able to pull.
Right, but whom?
There's no whom, bro. There's no whom.
So then these people don't exist?
I'm not saying they don't
It's
exist.
It's way different.
It's not that they don't exist. Like I give you an example. When I think of vaccine, you think of Fauci, Biden, blah blah blah. I don't even think it's them. The deeper I think about that stuff,
No, of course not. They're puppets. They're
Exactly.
big pharma.
And so I don't know
Why
who's-
have we? Why is
so who's
all
the
of a
whom?
sudden? Why is
So
all of
who's
a
the
sudden
whom?
is big pharma not a fucking issue
that's what I'm
anymore?
saying. So who's the whom? You know, it's the same.
When did Big Pharma become our friends?
The pressure that is
Fucking weird.
The pressure that the vaccine applies,
Love it.
like with
But again, even in
Kyrie
the realm of big
Irving.
pharma, there's people to go after.
no, there's not.
Yes, there is. You can go after Johnson and Johnson Corporation.
Okay,
Pfizer.
Okay,
You can
listen.
go after. You can go
Okay,
after
right now.
entities.
Aaron Rodgers is gonna be on a hot seat. I think.
This will be. That's a good. I
think-
don't know how you segued it, but it was a good
I
segue.
think Aaron
Go on.
Rodgers is gonna be the Kyrie Irving of the NFL.
Why?
Because this is what he did. So I want to be clear.
Oh, did you hear?
I wanna
Oh,
be-
he don't
I-
even
I
know
wanna
what
be
he
No, I
said.
heard a little bit.
I
He
want-
got like
no. I want to be clear.
But this was all from his doctor.
No, I want to be
so
clear.
it should be fine.
I want to be clear.
Go ahead.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers contracted COVID-19. That's one. Second of all, they were able to go back to a tape where a reporter asked him, are you vaccinated? He said, yes, I'm immunized.
Immunized.
So that means he
He didn't say yes though. Didn't he just say
said no,
I'm
no, he said,
immunized?
yes, I'm immunized. So because he did the whole head nod, the whole Sullivan nod, whatever. But
When really the proper answer should be
I'm
none of your
immunized.
fucking business.
he could have said that, but he was on the spot. It made sense to answer because there's
HIPAA.
No, because there's NFL protocol, and NFL is a private entity, as we
HIPAA.
learned.
Sure,
Yeah,
HIPAA.
so there's no HIPAA on that.
there is.
The NFL is a
This is
private
a
entity.
reporter who's conducting an interview.
First of all,
You don't
First of all-
have to answer every question.
I agree with you, but this is exactly what happened with Kyrie Irving. When you don't say no, that means if you don't say yes, the answer is no.
Well, then leave it to people's interpretation. But
Okay, fair enough. He could have
I
done
don't
it.
like
But
that's
long
the
story
stand.
short,
I would like to see someone make that stand.
okay, but long story short, Aaron Rodgers, since that I'm immunized, has not been
Which was months ago.
has not been wearing face masks.
Okay.
Yes, he does.
No, I'm talking about the sidelines.
Oh, on the sidelines, they don't.
cares?
They don't.
They don't
There's
have
no
to.
rule.
He's
But-
outside.
There's no rule.
There's no
There's no
rule.
rule in the NFL.
There's no
You
rule.
don't have to wear it
He
outside.
does wear it in practice. He does wear it in the
in
facility.
the facilities, he wears it.
You know,
So he's
and I'm
following
guessing
the
that's
rules.
But they're basically trying. They're going to paint him.
Free Aaron Rodgers, man.
Exactly. They're going to paint him as pretty much a dereliction of duty, but for lack of a better term, someone who just did not put the safety of his teammates and the pursuit of a championship first, which is how they're going to spin it. They're going to spin it as
Nah, yo, people get
I've
sick.
already heard that shit on First Take. First Take,
Well,
and,
what they say.
they're
I didn't
fucking
watch- I
not
didn't
First
watch that
Take. Pardon the interruption, but I don't like the way they. And I know it's because they work for Disney that they're answering it this way. And they're like,
Oh,
I
and-
love Aaron Rodgers, but he's being. It's just like
you know
they
what they
just-
did on First Take? Because
It's
I
so
did watch the
disgusting that
First
they're
Take.
shaming people for
I'll
getting
tell you what
sick.
First Take did that got me disgusted.
They're shaming people
Stephen
for
A.
getting
Smith,
sick.
which I'm not a big Stephen A.
Shaming
Smith.
people for getting
No,
sick.
I got you.
Shame.
I like
Heard you.
you know I like Shining Sharp better, but Stephen A.
Shame.
was like maybe he gave it to Pat McAfee. He's always on the Pat McAfee show, and I'm like
He's never been on the
exactly because they
all
told me
video.
I know.
And so you're a dumbass for
but
saying
my whole point is like,
you sound stupid.
what does Pat McAfee have to do with any of
Nothing.
this?
And Pat McAfee actually said that on his show. He's like, for some reason, I'm getting fucking blown up
Yes,
over
because-
this. And all
because-
I do is have the guy on once a week via video.
I know, but the whole point is it just shows you how fast the media is trained.
Well,
to
you didn't
drag-
know that
to
COVID
drag
can
people
travel
around the-
digitally now?
No, it's because Pat
5G.
McAfee is a big defender and supporter of Aaron Rodgers because
exactly.
he talks to him every week and now he's friends with him. And he even admits, Pat McAfee admits, before I met the guy and knew him, I thought he was an arrogant, smug person. Then I got to know the guy, and it turns out he's not. And this isn't some high
They say
level.
that about me all the
this
time.
isn't. But I'm saying
They say
this,
that about me.
This isn't Peyton Manning talking about it. This is some ex-punter for a team. Like he's not
But it's a legendary podcast.
sure. But my point is that he even Pat McAfee says he's not who I thought he was.
Okay.
So take that into consideration. But the difference is Kyrie Irving isn't the reigning MVP of basketball. This is one of the best of all time. Never mind the last 2 years.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Why is a
mark-
virus
mark my words.
drumming up character conversations about
Because people have to look
about
good.
professional
Okay,
athletes.
I'm going to tell
And
you
that's why people like Unpardoning the Eruption have to go.
insane to me.
I'm going to answer the
I don't
question.
really want the answer to that question because it's disgusting no matter what anyone says.
I agree.
It's terrible.
I'm not
it's
saying
an absolute gross.
I'm not saying I accept it. I'm going to explain to you what the Michael Irvins and the Shaquille O'Neals. Okay, so
What do they say?
okay, so part of the sports culture that is broken, and you play team sports, I play team sport. Part of the team sports concept that's all jacked up now is that
Twitter.
people believe that
Yeah.
your team comes above everything, and now they're trying to transcend that into your personal health and personal and family decisions, which is fucked up. And I agree with Jesse. Listen, I love to win. There's nothing more I love to win. I believe in winning at all levels, and I believe in championships. I believe in my teammate. We're in the trenches together. We're in the weight room together. We're going to do whatever it takes to win a championship. But where does it stop? And this is what people don't understand. And that's what this whole thing's about.
There is a certain level, though. There is a certain level where, and being in a band is a kind of a team sport where
it is.
If you're a big drug addict, and I have to
Yes.
worry because now
You're affecting
I'm
me.
tied to
Yes,
you.
exactly. And you affect my
There
imaging.
is to a certain extent.
I know, but where it ends, and this is the whole point of America, our freedoms.
But-
where it ends is my personal right to choose things.
Right.
It always
It-
ends.
no, because it
there.
stems-
I
no,
am the
it
best
goes-
team player, but I don't believe that I have to take an injection to prove to you that I'm the best team player, because I thought my play on the football field, I thought
Right.
my practice, I thought my film study, I thought the numbers that I'm putting up prove that.
The problem is
You're
ESPN
telling me
is-
that a jab is more important to my team commitment
Right.
than what I actually do on a fucking football field. They lost the first game, they haven't lost since.
Right.
And they're gonna get smoked with Jordan Love.
But I'm just saying,
Bet the house, folks.
my point is that when you do watch on ESPN, the problem is that they're owned by Disney, so they gotta
the
take the
problem is-
stance.
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
So they're all talking like above.
It's
I
not-
can't believe he would do
it's
this.
not that they're
This
just
is
owned
not.
by
He's a smart guy. He should know better than to use the word
it's
immunize.
not-
Like, fuck you.
It's not that they're
Hate 'em.
owned. It's not that they're just owned by ESPN and Disney. The issue is it's the same thing with the masks. People who agree with something or comply, whatever term you want to use, have a self-righteous nature, and that is the
I'm right
problem.
and you're stupid.
Yes, that's the fucking problem. You can get the vaccine, but you shouldn't look down on someone else. You
I
should-
am vaccinated and
Yeah.
I hate everything that's
you,
going on
you
about
can
it.
wear a mask. That doesn't mean I'm an asshole because I don't wear.
Do you
wear
wanna
a
know how much I
mask.
hate it, Gene?
You know what I'm saying? You can go to church on Sunday. I'm not an asshole because I don't go to church.
Right.
You can be vegan. I'm not an asshole because I want to eat a steak.
Right.
Like, people have got to get out of the business that your personal choices make you better than
you wanna know
someone
how much-
and give you the power to cast judgment on people. And that's ultimately
This
not
is how much
American.
I hate it.
That's not American.
I hate it so much that I wish I didn't get vaccinated just so I could say fuck you twice over. But
And that's where Kyrie Irving's at, because
But-
I believe Kyrie
no,
Irving.
I got vaccinated. That's the
I
difference.
know.
My
but
point
I
is
believe
like,
Kyrie Irving
fuck you.
would probably entertain it, but as he's watching everything that's happening and unfolding, and the amount of people who are coming to him as like, damn, thank God there's someone like you who has the media attention, who has the money, the power, who's able to
Kyrie
say
Irving
no,
is
because
a bit
I
of a
can't say no.
dumbass.
Because you know one thing,
that's the
I'll
only
tell
problem. I'd rather stand behind.
No,
I'd rather stand
I
behind a
agree.
guy who doesn't believe the Earth's
I
flat.
agree,
But, you know, that's me. I'm
listen,
not.
I
Call
can,
me crazy.
I can tell you stories, and I'm sure we've all heard of them, of nurses online crying to get the vaccination because they just want to continue with their employment.
They just want to go to work and
they're
fucking
not
go home.
lockstep with it. And and then I read a whole Facebook post today about a girl who she did get vaccinated, and it started out nice, like, I'm not judging people, blah blah, but as she developed the paragraphs, it was definitely a condemnation of people who weren't vaccinated, because she basically said, I don't mind that people aren't vaccinated, do whatever's good for you, blah blah, but like, if you're gonna listen to some guy
I understand that.
No, I
If
get-
your reasoning for not getting vaccinated is because of
Is you
some
listening to
dumb
some-
story,
yes,
my aunt's uncle,
I
fucking
agree.
cousin,
But okay, let's
lost hearing in
let's
their
get
left
something
ear.
straight.
it's
Let's get
fucking
something straight.
stupid. I get annoyed at
and
that.
he touched on it last.
I do get annoyed at
He
that.
touched on it last podcast. The concept of researching. He said that,
I've always said
He
this.
said Melissa went to school, and one of the
You
things
gotta
they
know
told her in
how.
law school is they showed her how to research things. So now, you cannot be mad at people. Like in our generation, we went to a library. So let's roll it back 15 years. You go to the library and you go and you sit there, you grab a bunch of books, you read, and you come to an understanding. I cannot judge you for the understanding that you came up to based on whatever books you read, blah, blah, because that is a decision that you've come to. I can then say, you know what, did you also read this book?
Right. It's the
Did you
same
also
thing.
read this book?
Can I give you an
Because the
example?
idea- Go ahead.
So I was looking up because I take a lot of vitamins. I take a shit ton of vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there going, I take a lot of fucking vitamins.
Yep.
So my first thing
And your
was,
body can't even
what are the
process most of
benefits to multivitamins? And I got a whole bunch of pages of why they're good. Then I was like, let me change the way I ask the question.
Exactly. And they told you.
Is it worth it? So it's an open-ended question. Is it worth it to take multivitamins? The fucking answer is very no.
Yeah, because the idea is, not that I'm an expert, but the idea is that you want to get your nutrition through actual food.
Like a cheat code.
Yes.
You're trying to do it
You
as
try
cheat
to
code.
It's the same like protein powder. Protein powder is great, but it has its things because the way your body processes it over time.
Bioavailability.
Exactly.
It's called bioavailability. So
Or you
if
can
I
just
take
buy
if I
food
take
and eat it.
iron pills or I eat broccoli.
Yes.
Say
Yes.
I'm gonna get more iron out of the broccoli,
Facts.
even though there's more iron in this
because
pill.
your body can't digest that the way it would digest
Right.
broccoli.
There are a few vitamins.
Yes.
Whatever that it said. There was a whole fucking article of which ones to not even bother with, and there's like 2 or 3 vitamins that like.
You say anything
take
about
these.
Flintstones, Jesse's flipping
No,
his fucking
that's
table.
multivitamin.
Because we are Flintstone kids.
That's a multivitamin.
10 million
But there were a
strong
few-
and growing. Keep going,
There were a
sir.
few that they said take, and they weren't multivitamins. They were actual specific things like zinc. I think
Yes, you
vitamin
should.
D was one.
Yes.
And I forgot there was another one that I wouldn't take anyway. And apparently turmeric is not a bad one. But whatever.
Turmeric's
Point
good for you.
being is
Yes.
it's a couple of vitamins.
Yeah.
Oh, and fish oil.
For sure, it's great.
It's
For your
not,
brain.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of bullshit out there that you got to know about. So in the sense of researching,
Yes.
that's what I mean. Learn how to ask the question. Learn how to look it
I
up.
agree.
And if that's what they're teaching in fucking law school, maybe
But-
they should extend that
but-
shit to fucking high
But look
school.
what you said. You changed the way you asked the question. The number one problem
Right.
in America is that
No
people...
one does that?
No, it's worse than that. People research in a way to strengthen their personal conviction or
Right.
argument.
You can go down whatever rabbit hole you want.
If you believed in the vitamin, you would go and find why this is good. So you could read 20 fucking reviews on why this vitamin changed your life. Meanwhile, you could have dig the other way and find out, oh shit, I didn't know that it did that to a person. But there you go. Justice very quiet on this one. Okay.
Because when it comes to research, we heard his whole
No,
statement on
I agree. But my whole point is that, like, I don't condemn people for doing research and coming to a conclusion. The idea of research is, if you truly believe in researching, you know it doesn't end. You keep going. You keep reading and getting different, unless it's a fact, like 3.14 is pi or some shit. There's no way to fucking beat someone up. Like, and this is the whole point of this whole pandemic. It is too new for people to speak facts into it, because what today's facts will be disproven tomorrow.
Right. But that's
So-
science.
Yeah, that's
how it
science.
works.
So for you to hang your cross on someone's forehead about what is happening today, especially when you have guys like a Dr. Fauci who changed their tune
More than once.
It's like they don't.
But why
to
does this
point,
guy keep
They can't
getting-
even prove
The
if masks
NHI
are-
already came out and said that he lied. We absolutely did.
I don't think he lied. I think he didn't
No,
even know what
he
was talking
lied
about.
to Congress. He 100% lied. Like, or has already come out now.
But my point is
Did
why
my
isn't
man Rand
there
his
get him?
own- his own
Did my man
people-
Rand go get him?
His own people
I'm
came
voting
out
for Rand.
and said it. They're like, that's what we were doing. Like, we were doing gain of function research on viruses.
So he's a mad scientist out in Wuhan.
Well, you know what, Fauci,
Wuhan, I got
this
you all
past
respect.
week in the news, he got blasted because he took it was a little over $300 million of taxpayer dollars to put beagles to shoot beagles up with some drugs and put their heads in a box and have live sand fleas eat them alive. $300 and something million of taxpayer dollars for that. But I'm saying, like, all of these things now are starting to come out.
But here's the problem. The reason why I can't even judge that, I'm not saying I don't think that's stupid. I want to make that stupid. But what I want to say is, if in doing that he created a cure for something, we'd be raving him a hero.
Of course. If that was the
case. So yes, I think that's stupid. But I don't know the full reasoning behind it.
I just thought that one was just like, you're just, that's
pretty stupid.
That's horrible.
It's the same thing with
that's
the bats.
Stupid. That's horrible.
It's the same thing with bats. But guess what? If in that process they discovered something, because things get discovered.
The problem is
very
this:
awkwardly.
the discovery, especially of this novel coronavirus, it's not even being allowed to be discussed, because a year ago, if you brought up the lab leak theory, you were considered a conspiracy theorist. That's racist. That's, and now a year later, it's, oh no, that's what happened. In looking at the virus, you could see that it has been manipulated and was
I'll tell you
altered by man.
Well, apparently, like, there's shit like that's going on. Like Jon Stewart's new show on Apple TV. Apparently, he's just calling out everyone, both sides.
Yeah,
Not
I
like
heard that.
just
That's great.
He's been fucking things up.
Listen,
My whole thing from before we went into the nutrition thing.
It wasn't necessarily nutrition. That was all about
No, but before
research.
we went into that was the whole, yes, being on a team, being in a band, if one of the guys in the
I think the drug
band,
example is perfect.
if one of the guys in the band
reflects the whole
got
band.
the flu, we're not shaming him because we have to cancel
Right.
5 dates on a tour, because things happen. It's flu season. You got sick.
Okay. Time out.
You know what I'm saying?
Time out. Now, if you guys are in a band and you guys are doing this thing, there are things and steps that people in the team should do to prolong your ability to make money. Like, we have to be honest about that. If someone's out there and
Yes, 100%.
shape and doesn't give a
But
fuck,
people-
he's eating, he's drinking.
But that's
going
not
to
the
sleep
case
with-
here.
I'm not saying it is, but there's two sides to the equation. Because
Right, but I said the second side. Yes, I was playing devil's advocate in that sense when I said a
so?
drug dealer. Yeah, if someone's not being a drug dealer, but like
Drug
a big
user.
drug addict.
Yeah.
That's the devil's advocate of what you were
Because to me,
saying.
if someone gets a flu and it's really a fluke, I'm all about it. I get what you're saying. But if someone's like living sloppy,
But that's what he did.
Because that's how we make
He
money.
got the coronavirus,
He got
and
the
now he's
coronavirus.
getting shamed. It's headline news. Aaron Rodgers catches COVID.
No.
What?
He's getting shamed.
Who cares?
No, he's getting shamed.
People catch COVID right now.
Slow down. He's getting shamed because they want to highlight the fact that he's unvaccinated. What needs to happen is the fact that
But he's-
AJ Green is caught COVID and he's vaccinated. Why is that not a hot topic? That's what's not happening.
So is
here,
Well,
folks.
Saquon
in the
Barkley.
rules, on the rules is purely like that.
No, but my whole point is, why is that not-
NFL's rules are, by the way, if you're vaccinated and you get COVID, it's okay.
Exactly, and
That's what they flat out said, knowing.
and that's
That's all.
because
It's really weird when you put it that way. If I tell you guys, you get COVID, you're fucked, you're done, or you have to be out for 10 days, I don't want to
Listen,
see you. But if you're vaccinated, you catch COVID, the consequences are different. Though the end result is the same. You both
The
get
thing
COVID.
is that like the problem is again, here we are again. The follow the science crowd is shutting the door on an avenue of science, right? So like Aaron Rodgers was not, I guess, lying. Was it misleading? Sure.
Yes,
You
that's
know,
lying then.
But he didn't say, yes, I got double dose vaccine shots.
I get it, but
I'm immunized.
He played the game.
Well, how did he get immunized anyway? I didn't.
Immunized-
Did they
he-
explain
he
how he
either
did?
caught it and
Oh.
has antibodies.
Oh, hold on, time out. I'm sorry.
No, there was something he
that's my
did,
fault.
right?
That's my fault because
Maybe he got the,
No, it's my fault because I was telling the story. So his doctor figured something out, and he was actually petitioning to the NFL to try to see if this method can be used system wide, which is another reason why I think they're knocking him so hard, because I think that what if he was successful to having the NFL use his doctor's way as treatment, it would undo whatever money's being made by Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, blah, blah. And I think that's why they're hitting them so hard, because they don't want people to try to come up with their own solutions. Just like Joe Rogan, they didn't want, oh, you got your own solution? Your doctor came up with some shit? Nah, we're coming after you hard.
It's a horse.
Of course, we put too much money into this.
Exactly. And I think that,
No, it also
that's the
has
way
to
the
do with-
angle, that's how you fight back.
It also has to do with being able to call it a vaccine. It has. I forgot what it was. It was if there's other ways of getting better.
Yes. It's not a vaccine.
You can't have.
I'd call it a
You
cure.
can't have a funded vaccine.
So it's now it's financial again.
That's why. That's why taking ivermectin is a no-go for anyone. Doesn't matter if it really did work. Again, don't know if it does.
Yeah, but
if it does, if it did,
But next question.
we can't talk about
Is that
it.
not what we do for cancer?
Yes.
Okay.
But there's no vaccine for cancer.
I didn't say there's a vaccine for cancer, but chemotherapy is, and I'm not knocking any of it, but chemotherapy is our American solution to cancer. But there are other solutions that have been proven. You know what I
I'm
mean?
sure there has.
And some of it is a lot of nutrition, like Dr. Sebi. I can go through that all day. But keep going.
Also, there's one last thing before we move on here. Rugs. Did you guys see about? Did you?
Okay,
I know you
Rugs.
saw it. You didn't.
Okay,
You don't know about it.
Dude, you gotta turn your phone on once in a while. Stop watching MMA. Okay, so Ruggs, Ruggs is a wide receiver that I
I know
almost
who
picked
Henry
up.
Ruggs is.
Oh, so you don't know who he is? Well,
Of course.
No, he doesn't know what happens.
Okay, DWI, he killed someone.
He killed someone.
Killed.
Fiery
Oh,
crash.
that's right. I did hear this.
Okay.
Car burned.
But it wasn't him. Wasn't it his buddy who
No,
was driving?
No,
No,
it's him.
he was driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to tell you this: as all bartenders, ex-bartenders,
There's a video of him sobbing on the side of the road with his girlfriend while the other person's burning alive.
Okay,
in their
so
car.
here's what I will say. I'll say a couple things because I want to be fully transparent, fair, empathetic, apathetic, sympathetic to the whole situation.
He get kicked from the league?
Yeah, he already got released.
He got released, but
He's going to jail.
I'll say one thing: he did not leave the scene. I want to stress that because I feel like in our generation,
Who died? The guy he hit?
the guy hit.
The girl, the lady, and the kid.
Yeah. So listen, he didn't flee the scene. I think that's very
It's manslaughter charge. He'll do like 10.
yeah.
With a good attorney, he'll get
Yeah.
5.
I'll tell you this though: what I don't have tolerance for is
Maybe
that
not 5.
we live in the Uber world. You're a high-profile football player. You can get drivers like that. That's why I said the whole thing with us, because like my cousin does. We do security.
He's going to say his apologies. He's going to go to a rehab. He's going to do his time.
You don't know that Dante Starworth. You forgot that one?
No? What?
Dante Starworth hit someone. I believe he was a Cleveland Brown at the time. He didn't go to jail.
Right, he didn't go to jail.
He didn't go to jail.
No, I
This
know.
one has video of people.
No, the difference is Dante Starworth had more money in the bank. Like this guy's what, a rookie or second year guy?
Second,
Third year?
third,
Second.
something
Yeah,
like that.
he doesn't have the money for this type of situation.
No, I'm saying
Or
that,
is it- or
you
the-
know, it's going to come down
What
to
state is he-
it's
was
going
this?
to come down to his priors.
What state
Probably
was this?
Vegas, right?
Probably
Vegas,
Nevada.
Probably
Which is-
Vegas
which is
or
what-
that area.
What's that?
Nevada.
That's Nevada. So Nevada bodes well. Be honest with you.
No, they said he's going to jail.
They said that?
Yeah, they said he's going to jail. Well, people
Again, it
burned
depends
alive
on,
in the
it
car
depends
because
on
he was
what
fucked up
his
driving.
Blood alcohol level was. You know, no, you don't know that. I mean, again, like, of
He's
course,
getting, he got charged
they-
with DWI.
They,
Of course.
they
You know,
tested
of
him on the
course.
spot. He had visible signs
of course, but what I'm saying, when it comes down to his sentencing,
yes.
all of these other
Was it a
factors are going to
1.6?
come in.
Was it a
you know?
0.8? I get what you're saying.
And then again, he's an NFL player. He's got money. It's not like he's a bartender who left his shift and this happened to. You know what I mean? Even the bartender is probably not going to do time, or at least heavy time, if it's his first offense.
You
Like
mean-
if Henry
you mean
Ruggs
you
doesn't
mean the
have.
bartender who served him?
What? No, I'm saying that, like,
Oh.
yeah,
As the
like
bartender.
I'm saying if you were after hours and you had a couple of drinks and you blew over the legal limit because you were a bartender who was leaving your shift. That's all I was saying. You know,
You
like,
think they care about that? You think that we get credit for that?
no. I'm saying that it would be harder for the bartender to evade jail time,
Okay, got
than
you.
an
Okay,
NFL
okay.
player who's got millions in the
Yeah,
bank
got you.
and
I don't know if you guys know.
sponsorships
Okay.
and he's got signing bonuses. You
We'll
know,
see.
he was
We're about to
drafted.
find out.
He's a fantasy relevant player, so he's making money.
But also
you know?
keep in mind, Stallworth was pre fucking magnifying glass on the NFL and all their players with domestic violence, all that shit.
So you're talking about it's pre Ray Rice,
right.
because Ray Rice is
Ray Rice changed everything.
changed the game.
Changed everything.
Because Michael Irvin stabbed someone in a barbershop. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true.
Plaxico
Doesn't
shot
matter.
himself.
And went to jail, bro. Plaxico went to jail.
He did because
Went
it was
to
an
jail.
illegal firearm.
And he crossed state lines. Because he went from Jersey to New York.
But bottom line is, after Ray Rice, things are different. Especially since a person burned alive with a child in another car. That alone is gonna.
This is.
And also the other problem is, guys, you're forgetting the whole TMZ video of this happening.
I know, but JB,
Yeah, sure, but
JB,
I mean,
listen,
none of that shit matters in
listen.
court. Again, and I'll tell you what, the reason I'm saying this is because the last 2 days I've been watching the Kyle Rittenhouse trial just because I think it's
Oh,
interesting.
look at the fine spinoff. I'm in.
And, because it's been live. And
Can I? Okay. Okay.
lawyers do incredible things, man.
Let's talk about this shit.
Is it
Because-
sometimes
when
it's
you
incredible,
said-
sometimes it's
when
shady.
you said,
No, I don't know. The Kyle Rittenhouse
yeah,
thing,
when you said
I'm-
let's talk about this,
I'm
I was
100%
laughing.
he's getting off on self-defense.
I could see it, but okay. I already knew it was going to happen because when the judge comes out and says you can't call the people.
Nah, that's unfair.
I didn't even finish what I
Because I already know what you're going to say, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't even say anything. You never know what I said.
You can't call them protesters. You
No, he said you can't call them victims.
Victims.
You have to call them rioters.
You can refer to them as rioters or looters. Why? But before you just bypass that first statement, why can you not call them victims?
Because it would be bias. It would
No
it would cause
bias involved. You cannot call them victims because there has been no crime committed yet. This is what we're on trial for. Is there a crime committed? If there was no crime, there is no victim.
I know, but
therefore we're not going to sway the jury.
Exactly. The reason
by
that was
misdefining the people.
This is a judge defining semantics.
No. What are you talking about?
The word victim forces you to look at him as the victimizer.
Of course.
And that's
and you are innocent until proven guilty in these in this land.
And I find that interesting. Is that true? That's a great point. I agree. I could have did that because realistically, in another case, it's the same case where Ahmaud Arbery. I don't know if you remember that guy. That guy was jogging.
Which one? The jogger?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now what happened is in
I
his
wish I would
case,
never saw that video.
They three white men.
Oh, I know. I saw the video. It was two. It was a father and son.
Yeah, but
and it was disturbing.
The third guy is involved, and he's being
the guy taking the video.
Yeah, he's being tried. And when they picked the jury pool, they only had one, I believe, black person. And it just when you told me the Kyle Rittenhouse, I'm like, wow. It made me think a lot. I'm like, where are we really in the justice system? Because it forced me to really think about judges and the role they play in jury selection, setting the tone of a trial based on words that can be used or not be used. And like we are in an unprecedented era because, when we think of judges, we automatically just like exclude them from all the chaos. But they're not.
Agreed.
But
here's the problem with what
and
you're
I'm not
saying.
mad. Like I'm not picking the side.
Playing devil's advocate with what
Yeah.
you're saying, though, if he would have came out and said, call them victims, there's going to be a whole other part
100%.
of this world that's going to be like,
listen,
what?
You think the NRA wants to sit there and listen to fucking this guy called the guy defended himself from being attacked? Forget everything else that happened. Let's just zoom into just the actual act. They jumped him. He shot him. Forget why he was there. The
This
state
isn't
lines,
even-
the
this-
this, the that. Because yes.
This
See, the
isn't
problem
even
is
an
this.
NRA issue. This has not turned into a
I agree.
Second Amendment issue.
I agree.
Why? Because in the state of Wisconsin, you're allowed to openly carry your
But the
weapon.
problem is he's not from Wisconsin. He traveled.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
He's
matter.
in-
He's in Wisconsin when it happens. But the point
He
is,
can get charged in his state for leaving state lines with
no,
a
'cause
gun.
you don't know that he left
depending.
with the weapon because
Right.
he may have gotten the weapon when he got there. You don't know unless you caught him leaving. Unless you caught him with the gun.
There's so many things in
unless
this, and
Like Plaxico was different. It was his gun. He crossed state lines with it. That's where he got in trouble. So now, the thing is this. With Kyle, the reason why there's so many eyes on this too is because I just think that the reason why I didn't mind talking about it, like when you said that, I said what I found very interesting about what I'm most touched about is that like here's a kid who's a young kid who in my mind I think he had all the right intentions. Prior to the whole shooting, the day before, he was painting a wall that was fucking vandalized. So his mindset is like, I want to be a hero. I want to help.
I'm helping protect.
I'm trying to protect
the thing. Now,
I'm trying to.
I have a very I'm giving him a full pass, and I agree with this guy. Now, from the parenting side, the mom, I can go all day about this because you drove him across state lines. Like, son, we can help, but there's other ways we can donate to this fucking foundation. We can help people at home. Driving across state lines with guns to protect someone's property may not be the right thing in this heated environment.
Right.
Because that's what it was. But him, the 17-year-old, and we always talk about the impressionable children who are the victims, and I can't believe I just used the word, but the victims of this political media fucking war.
Well, let's think about this. Let's put all the pieces together.
Taking a 17-year-old kid, whether he gets off or not, this is life-changing. I'm assuming he's in jail right now, right? He goes to court from jail.
No, probably not.
Oh, he's fighting it from home?
Probably.
He's had bail?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I remember some Kid Rock or somebody.
He's a minor. I'm sure he's not a flight risk. Like
flight risk, he crossed state lines.
But
They're saying
maybe
he's
I'm not
gonna-
sure. I don't know. Actually, that's a good question.
But my point is that like people, like even Facebook and all the shit that people do every day, the collateral damage is the children. And people have come to the point where they don't give a fuck about that, and that's what the Kyle Rittenhouse case.
No, okay.
is
So let
to
me say what I was trying to
But
say
go ahead.
before is that I think that like you have to take a broader look at this, right? And 18 months leading up to this, you're seeing boots on the ground style movements, right?
Facts.
That whether or not you agree or disagree
No,
with what
okay.
they're marching
I'm with
for,
you. I'm with you.
you're watching this happen, right? From afar, you're sitting back and you're like, oh wow, and then months and months, and then another senseless killing, and now it's growing stronger, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, this is going far beyond. This is clearly becoming political, and we're watching cities burn, and we're watching.
Okay, you're bringing me back. Now I remember.
You know what I'm saying, right? So like
little
you're
wars-
watching
when those people made that little town in Seattle.
You watched
I remember,
an
yes.
occupied zone
yes.
emerge
Okay,
in the
you're
middle.
bringing me back.
This is like
Holy
the
shit,
French Revolution.
This was
or
America.
something.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit!
Right, you know what I mean? Like,
This
so
is
for
America.
months you're watching this boots on the
Wow, I
ground
forgot about
style
that. Facts.
phenomenon
Okay.
happen, and you're like, this. I can't sit by. I can't sit idly by anymore. And of course,
So
everything
a
that you're
17-year-old is
even a
saying this.
17-year-old.
A lot of teenagers were like that.
Because
no,
you know what?
that's
Think about it. The
fair. I'm
17-year-old is
putting
a
myself in
product
front.
of his environment.
Facts.
Right? So now he has all of his elders around him that are just as fired up. They're clearly, hunting a military type family, let's say, right? Like they have the guns. They have organization. They know how to shoot. They know how. This kid
Was
is
trained.
so groomed.
He was good, yeah.
Right? Like, and this was
he must
actually
have, yeah.
one of the things that I the defense fucking nailed today was, well, if you look at it, does he ever raise his weapon? He doesn't. The kid holds his rifle on a .45 aimed at the ground the whole time as this guy's charging at him. It's not until the dude Rosenblog, whatever the fuck his name, it's not until he tries to grab the gun
That he gets
does
shot.
it come up
Yeah, he gets
and
shot.
he fires. So
Yeah.
like the kid, not saying that that's justified or whatever, in my eyes it is, but my point is that the kid has training, right?
Yeah.
He's holding it
No,
at
he was
45.
trained.
Like
I have zero issues with
like
training.
it was.
I have zero issues with
the way
training.
he carried his weapon. He knows how to use a weapon.
Okay.
Right. What was my whole point of that?
Your point is that the lawyer.
The whole boots on the ground,
Environment,
17 years watching
So
it.
you're watching all this shit, and like I'm saying this as, I get riled up. I think it's fucking horrendous what has happened in the last 18 months right now. I was ready to go down to the Capitol, to the march on the Capitol, January 6th.
I'm glad you didn't, because
I was
madness.
ready for that. I was like, you know what? Yes. Right now is the time. This all feels
Can I ask a
fucking
question?
wrong.
Okay.
And I'm tired of sitting idly back
Can I ask a question? What would
from the TV screen watching this country explode.
Yeah, but what would
That was my feeling.
Okay, but you have to listen. I'm beyond curious right now because I need to know what would the march on the Capitol have done. Like, what do you think? Do you think you being part of the group meant something, or you individually for yourself?
For myself, it feels satisfying to be a part of the larger voice being heard. Let's say that.
But here's my thing about that.
Now, again, if I go there, right? Now, let's say I do go there.
Okay.
You know, does my head start spinning? 100%. I already know that. Because I don't agree with the crowd fully.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with a lot of things. But again, okay, knowing that there was a storming of the Capitol. And,
like
bro.
you storming a Capitol.
I've ran
you
this
going
by.
there, I see. You breaking into Nancy Pelosi's office, I don't see.
Right. See, that's the thing.
But
I don't see myself doing that either. But
I do see you
in the heat of the
I see
moment.
you not liking her. And I see someone saying, let's go. I don't see you starting it, but I do see you finishing it.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, honestly. In the heat of the moment, you're all riled up. People are they're all fired up. You're seeing all this shit. Oh, this is America.
But that's
right.
Why you
and then
don't
all
go.
of a sudden, you see cops letting you in, moving the barricades so people can come in. You know, it's kind of like, oh yeah, oh, are we gonna get in there? Are we gonna go in? Are we going in? Like, we're going to go in and get our voices heard? Like, fuck yeah, let's go in. Why are you breaking that window? No, wait. No, don't do that.
Yeah, but
no, what are you doing? No, stop. You're going to crush that cop's skull in the door. What are you doing? Like that,
but,
you know what I mean?
Jesse,
but let's go in. What do you do? Don't do that. Like,
you know what? What amazes me
Fair enough.
What amazes me about
I don't understand. Let me just cut you off on this because this has been going through my head all day. I don't understand. Oh, this is going to get me in trouble.
Say it. Fuck it. You guys tell me that.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, I know. He loves
I don't
shit.
understand how January 6th is this big mark on America like that. Like, I don't feel that way about that.
I don't either.
But like, there's a lot of.
I could give two shits about it.
It doesn't feel. They make it sound like
it was like the
September
worst
11th.
fucking thing ever. Right?
No.
September 11th was way worse.
They're like, everyone's going to remember January 6th. I'm like, I didn't know it was the date until you said
I
it.
forgot about it. Yeah, until you brought it up.
Here's what happens. You know, here's what happened. On the liberal side, they harp on it because they want to show.
It kind of negates the last 12 months of burning cities down.
Yes, and they also want to show the extremism, if in their minds, of the Trumpism. Because if you notice, the January 6th is always connected to certain random things he said in that speech, like we're going to take back whatever. And then there was other people that spoke, Giuliani. So they're trying to like lay out the connection and. You know,
it's their way of saying, "See, your side does it too."
Yeah, no,
that's realistically what it is.
Not just that, but the Trump phenomena. It's so like Democrats are so they're in love with the guy they hate.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
I feel like most
that's
people
what John
are,
Stewart, but that's what John Stewart said.
Like they're in love with Trump because
said it in a
even
different
now
way.
they still speak of him.
I used to say
and
that
the January 6th is the last thing they have. Like. This is it. Like, we finally got something on him. But, like, no, he wasn't there.
What you're saying right now is what Jon Stewart basically said when he got asked a question about Trump. And he's like, why are we... He didn't say it outright, but the way he kind of, like, danced around it didn't.
Why are we still talking about
He basically said...
Because the Democrat... You know what it is?
You guys are so harped on him.
I'm going to tell you why.
Doing?
And I'm going to tell you why. And then I'm going to show you about the other side.
Ratings.
It's not about ratings.
It is, Gene.
No, it's a little bit more than ratings. I'm going to tell you something.
For you.
No, I'm going to tell you. When you lack depth, which is what the Democratic Party does, nothing unifies you better than a villain.
Get it? Yeah, of course.
So
sure,
they don't have anything to talk about.
I mean, let's
talk about the bad guy because and
that's all Pelosi is, right? She's the Skeletor for the Republicans.
The educated Republicans the whole time.
I think Biden's doing a better job of uniting people than anyone else in that case.
Even
majority of Democrats hate him.
When I followed social media,
some shit.
And I used to tell you all the time, I'm like, you watch people yell, blah blah. The ones that took a deep breath from the fucking like. Because, you know, I live in Long Island, so my Facebook is 3/4 Long Island. So the ones that took a deep breath from just the bashing, like, all right, you don't like Donald Trump? Tell me 3 things you like about the Democratic Party. I always love that question.
Good question.
Yeah, because I would read the comments
Fantastic
and
question.
people would get stuck and it'd be blah, blah. And to me, that was more of what should have been done instead of the doubling down like you're an asshole. And now the Republican side of it, see, that's the Democrat side. The Republican side is like, it's a catch-22. We got so much done. We got our president elected. We got our freedom of speech, so to speak. We reversed the politically correct era, sort of. You know, we got back and we raised the forgotten people, forgotten white America, basically. Working,
I got it. Midwest
white America. So it's like, we're not giving that up. Like we earned this. Like, so even with the whole election results, like, no, like we're not going back to that time. Fuck that. And that was the extreme politics that took control. And then the funding, the money that's flying underneath is what keeps all this shit going, because both sides don't give a fuck about anybody. Because realistically, we've highlighted this a million times. I hate, like, people make the Democratic Party sound like they're fucking Thanos. And the Republicans are like fucking the Avengers. Like Hunter Biden's laptop. If that was reversed and the Democrats had Trump Jr.'s laptops, would they let it go?
No.
Oh no, we're not saying we're not just bashing on Democrats only though.
So whose fault is it? You're playing cards.
At least I'm not.
And you ended a game losing with an ace in your hand. That's not my fault. Play it the same way Trump and they played.
Hold on. See, this is where you're mistaken though. The Hunter Biden laptop isn't off the board. It's still very much in play and being investigated. It's just not covered.
But it was needed to win.
Let me ask you
presidency.
this.
It was needed to win the presidency because
Did you see any of the protests over the weekend from New York?
Yes, I did. I watched. I saw two of them.
Where did you see them? On your news feed.
Yeah, someone put
exactly.
Yeah.
You didn't see anything like that in the newspapers.
Yeah, because
on the mainstream.
It's anti-vaccine. I get it.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Jesse, if you post something right now, see, this is what drives me crazy about the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, because to me, all's fair in love and war. That's my thought process when it comes to politics. It is clear if you post something right now about COVID-19, there's a little bar. Automatically. So the rules have been defined. Like in the middle of the game, someone like, whoop. From now on, if you do that, it's a 10-yard foul. Like, really? Yep. Play on. That's how I interpret it. You know, and the Republicans are the only ones that are like, wait a minute, what's that? Remember that whistle? Yeah. Play on. You know, that's how I look at it. And I know I'm trivializing it and I'm mocking it, but realistically, like every presidency has a scandal that helps. Hillary Clinton's emails helped Donald Trump in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go. That was the Republican 2-minute offense. Say I'm wrong. The Republicans had a 2-minute offense again. Oh, you be yelling at us about this shit, and you fucked it up. So the Republicans had a 2-minute offense with Hunter Biden, and they fucking.
Well, they didn't.
What's his name? Mark Sanchez did.
Butt fumble?
They butt fumbled it.
No, I don't think they did, though.
You know why? Because you are trying to give the Democrats... The Republican machine is just as powerful as the Democratic machine.
Yes.
What happened is someone dropped the ball, bro.
Yes.
And it is what it is. Like,
100%.
someone was...
You know what happened is something was uncovered.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Like
something was uncovered that exploits multiple people,
and they're like, you know what?
And they're like, yo, Trump.
And remember, Trump
sweeping
is not
this under.
And Trump is not one of. And remember, Trump's not one of them.
Not one of them.
And remember, I used to tell you this. Joe Biden.
He didn't
has
sit.
been a
He didn't
senator
sit making.
for years. They play Yahtzee together. They don't give a fuck.
They watched Hunter Biden grow up.
Exactly.
They probably gave him his first needle.
Yeah, they know what's going down.
Here you go.
All right. Moving
That
on.
was pretty good, right?
You want to do Mount Rushmore?
Of course I do.
What are we doing?
I love Mount Rushmore.
Let's
love
do
it.
it, baby.
I love it.
So
Rushmore rankings. I like
By
it.
the way,
You-
you got to say shout out to Nicole and shout out to what's her first name? Tracy.
Tracy.
Her name's Tracy?
I don't know who we
I
talking
don't even
about.
know who
Bro.
you're talking
The
about.
bartenders at Road Trip, you wackos.
Oh,
Nicole McCauley
yeah.
and Shorty.
Which one was Shorty?
I'm going to knock both of you guys out. You're driving me crazy. A. Tracy. What's her name? A. Alina? No.
Tracy.
Who the fuck's Tracy? Oh, wait.
Oh, no, I know who he's talking about. What's her fucking name?
Alyssa.
Alyssa. Yeah,
Alyssa.
Bingo,
Alyssa.
you wackos.
Yeah, the hot one.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they fucking got dressed up as wrestlers. Remember we did the top 5? We
Yes.
did a Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Yeah.
They got dressed up as wrestlers for Halloween. Hulk Hogan and Macho Man.
Oh, this year?
Dude, I tagged you in the fucking post.
On Facebook?
IG, bro. I don't go to Facebook like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't do IG.
Did you see it?
I'll look.
Wow, JP.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. So they dressed up as wrestlers.
Yes,
That's
cool.
cool.
Wrestlers right after we did the fucking.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully they drink a beer now. Because we're doing, and there's two ways to look at this.
I love it.
Jesse said best shitty beer, and I
Shitty
said,
beers.
so you mean best college beer.
Whichever way you want to call it. I drank shitty beers
Or
way
the
after
greatest college beers.
I wasn't a beer guy, but I'm in here. Let's do it.
I didn't go to college, but I still indulged.
I went to college, but I was a bougie then. Plush. I was doing plush back then.
This is the problem. Gene was always and
I'm bougie. I'm a
will always
bougie for
be-
life.
I mean,
All right.
I'm bougie, but I'm tech bougie.
But guess what? I'm throwing natural light out there.
Yeah,
Natural
my
light
man.
never
Natty
made
Light-
sense.
Natty
Someone
Light
gave it to
is-
me, and I'm like, this is shit.
That's
Natty
the layup.
Light is definitely
That's a
on the
layup.
list.
Natty Light is the most well-known
100%.
shit
That's
beer.
what I knew. I thought
it's
it was
when you
shit.
get into Genesee Lights.
Yeah, so when you get into like a Narragansett. Yeah.
Actually, Natty Light tastes like a fucking delicious
Pilsner.
Pilsner.
You guys are crazy.
like a
compared
wonderful,
to-
Natty Light makes the list.
like a wonderful
Natty Light
lager.
definitely makes the list. It has to. It's probably
Yes,
the
of course.
king of shitty beers.
Another one that's well known is Busch beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I actually used to enjoy Busch beer.
I used to love
And you
it.
know what? If you gave me a Busch beer, I probably would still like it better than a Bud Light.
I remember when Bush stepped it up and
Flavor-wise.
they
Bud
came out
Light
with
is
the
warm.
bottles.
Who?
Bush bottles.
Yeah, it was out by then.
Oh, really?
See, we forgot the Bushwhackers.
No, man.
Last
I did not forget the
Okay,
Bushwhackers.
go ahead. Yes, you did.
I fought you guys about the Bushwhackers, and you both told
I
me I
remember
was
the
crazy.
Bushwhackers, but I didn't care for
mentioned
the
the
Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers?
Yeah.
Bro, I got up and did the Bushwhacker
Oh,
dance.
I forgot. So Bush Light. Go ahead.
Moving on, we're past that. We're on just Busch.
Bush beer.
Busch beer. You've ever had a Busch?
Yeah.
Natty Bows.
Yeah, but Natty's the whole segment goes.
No, natural.
No, Natty Bow is not Natty Light.
What's that?
Natural
it's a
Bohemian. It's a Maryland.
It's a Maryland.
It's a
beer,
Maryland
and
beer.
It's
Disgusting, but it's delicious.
Yeah, but that's like, is that like? Would you put that on the Tecate? Was Tecate on that?
No, 'cause
level?
that's like-
Tecati's good beer. Yo,
no,
don't
it's
fuck
like
around.
classy.
Tecati's classic.
I'm
Classy?
saying
Tecate.
when I think of shitty beers, it's like what did I grab from the gas station in high school and walk into the pit with? You know, and like bonfire it up. What did we drink 30 packs of? You know, Red Dog.
Red Dog.
Red Dog 40s. That was really what it was. We drank Hurricane 40s,
Red Dog.
Red Dog
Red
40s,
Dog.
and MGD 22s.
I can't disrespect PBRs, I guess, but Dad.
No, PBR is like the other king,
Would it be oldie?
but it's like oldie's a good 40. That's a malt liquor.
Yeah.
It's a malt liquor.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
PBR makes the list.
I mean, PBR is definitely like
That
I'm
might
saying-
be another one.
In
Because I'm not
my
gonna lie to
eyes,
you.
that might be number three. I think he's
PBR
right.
is the king of college beer.
Yeah, because when I was
okay?
introduced to PBR, I'm like, why am I drinking this? $1. Got it.
The problem is that
Got it.
Yeah,
Like,
ain't no more
college
fancy.
bars,
Yeah.
college bars
It
jumped
made no
onto the
sense.
PBR
Yeah.
train.
It made no
hard.
sense, but
Yeah.
I was like, it's $1.
All right, so I think we're gonna all agree
I
on
can
those
drink,
three.
Yeah.
PBR, Natty Light,
Busch.
Look, I'm in the conversation.
like Narragansett's got to make the list.
I know that, dude. That's horrible. That shit tastes like shit.
Narragansett is just flat out just.
My vote is Narragansett or Natty Bow.
I mean, the
for
least
last
I've ever
one.
paid for a beer is Genesee Light.
Oh yeah, the
When we-
Genesee
when we
Light.
did the
That shit
Montauk.
was
How much was it?
terrible.
Montauk. Bro, I think I paid $10, $11 for a 24
I think I was
pack.
tripping on
Like,
mushrooms,
It
and
was
I
like
drank-
cheaper than water.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was
reason-
tripping on mushrooms and I found 3 Genesee Lights in the sand next to the fire pit, and I drank them.
Do you
shits
understand that
warm.
means? Do you understand that means someone left them? It's not even worth
It was
taking.
one of these
home.
guys.
It was us.
Oh.
Yeah,
We brought it.
yeah.
Road trip,
Genesee Light is
He was on classier shit like mushrooms, and he still drank.
guys.
Genesee Light.
Message us now. Oogie
You know what?
Wawa, the tour life. I may do the documentary myself.
you don't want
I
that.
may
You don't
narrate
want that.
Oogie Wawa,
can't handle that
the
life.
tour life documentary. Now that's some shit people want to see.
You don't know nothing until
I know. I see it already, bro. I want to be the voice, like the Samuel
know
Jackson.
nothing.
You
Until
watch
you
a
have
certain
a
someone in the
drugged
band
up-
calling us a bad word whilst punching himself in the dick.
And at that point,
yeah.
you
Called us a word
at
while punching. You guys are.
At
and he
that
punched
point,
himself in the
Nikki
dick.
threw the drumsticks at Jesse. I can narrate.
Nah, he
Nah,
never
man.
threw his
I
drumsticks,
know,
man.
but I'm
No,
you
there
let him
was,
do my
uh,
narration.
Drumsticks get expensive.
At that
You
point,
want to see? You want to
That's
see?
my point.
Chad jumps in the crowd. They forget to catch him. Oh my God! No, stop it. No,
And then
I was
mid-
there the first
and
crowd
then
surfing.
mid solo
The
in
crowd
front of
surfing.
a packed out bar. some girl walks up
And flash your boobs?
and
Nah.
pulls the guitarist's pants down. Mid solo, his dick is flopping around, and what does he do?
He pushes her.
Lays down. He pushes her and then lays down on the floor.
He fell back.
Oh, did he fall?
Yeah, he fell into the drums. He pushed her, and he was so
We
drunk.
played our
he
last
stumbled
set.
back.
JP went over and turned off his amp. It's like, no, you're not playing. Yeah.
Why?
That the name of that
didn't know what he
bar
was
is
doing.
very fitting for the
didn't know what he was
scenario.
doing?
What is the
What do
bar
you mean he knows what
called?
he's
Debauchery.
That's
Bar's
funny.
called debauchery.
I mean, I thought you were going to say he put his dick on her forehead. But let's go back to what really happened. So he...
Nah, that would have been funnier.
That's what I
got
would've
so
did.
drunk
If
that
I was
he
under that pressure.
He
that's
got
what-
so drunk that he had stripped down to his boxer shorts, and
No, but you said she took her pants off.
in mid solo,
Yeah.
she came up and pulled his
Okay, so that-
underpants
so that-
down. And now he was completely naked with his guitar.
Oh yeah, he was in
tripped, he
underwear,
fell.
by the way. He was
Yeah.
in just boxers, and that's it, by the way. Because he was so drunk, and we were in Florida, and it was so hot, he just took his clothes off.
Well, he always
On
had
stage?
his
Or did
shorts.
he come on stage with no
his
clothes?
shorts fell.
I know, but
He stepped out of them whilst in the middle of a song.
And he was playing top, like with no
okay,
shirt
so
on.
Yeah.
his shorts fell. He stepped out of them and kept going in his boxes. Quite funny. I can see why you let it go.
I know, a girl
girl-
coming in and going, I'm pantsing this motherfucker, is actually, she's my hero, and I
Okay,
wish
so
I
What
could
she
find
should have
her.
did was she should have pantsed him and started blowing him. That was
Are you kidding me? If she
It's too
did,
porn site
if
for
she
me.
did
It's not
that,
funny.
you guys would have called Chad and the Blow Pops. Like, there's no way
Right.
Chad doesn't run the show after that one. But hold on. So,
it wasn't Chad that happened to.
oh,
That was another member that wasn't in the band
that's
much
crazy. I
further
assumed it
after
was
that.
Chad.
No,
Is that
man.
other guy, John? Whatever. Okay,
Exactly.
So,
Let's keep it at John, whatever.
so he falls backwards.
Into the drum set.
How do you? Oh, because he was wasted.
Beyond.
Understatement.
So hold on. His cock is out. He falls.
Oh, by the way, this is also St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
Oh, you guys. First of all, you got to start the story with, "It was a St. Patty's Day."
At a place
I forgot
called
that it was.
Debauchery.
Yeah, it's
I
that
forgot
place
that was
called
St. Patty's
Debauchery
Day, yeah.
in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Another
Melbourne, right? No.
Yep.
Melbourne?
story that starts with Guitar Man in Florida.
Craziness. Ready? Remember that place? Debauchery,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
Bumpin' Ugly's Tropidelic tour with support of the Reese brothers. They're playing there. I was like, what?
The place was big.
No, it wasn't.
No, the place was big. The stage was
Not
tiny.
really. It really wasn't that big.
All right, but
Not-
you know what else that
Was it
bathroom
bigger
had?
than Nappertanny's?
By the way, the
No.
bathroom was also
Oh, it's not big.
No, it's not that big. The bathroom also had, that was the place where the bathroom had the,
It had see-through window. So
It was
like
just
when
a
you're
window at
washing
the-
your hair, you're looking at the girls washing their hands. So some weird shit went down there, man.
yeah, a lot of
A lot
tit
of
view.
flashing, a lot of, oh yeah.
Who the fuck designed the bathroom, R. Kelly? Like, what are you fucking?
It's a brilliant
it was
move.
dope. It was brilliant.
It's a brilliant move because you don't see into the bathroom. You just see each other. It's a brilliant move.
There's an old bar called Play where there's a communal washing station. So I understand what you're talking about. So it's not foreign to me. I find that hilarious, though.
But because
In
it
the
was
state of
glass.
Florida, in a place called Debauchery.
Yes.
It makes it a little.
So what's
worse.
that fourth beer?
I'm glad I got two in, so I don't care what you pick.
The fourth one could be whatever we want. Like I said, Genesee, I've never paid that little for beer before.
Yeah.
I
I
paid
mean,
more for water.
Was Zima
principle-
beer? Zima's a malt
That's a
liquor,
malt
right?
liquor.
That's it's like the
It's
start of the
trash.
It
sparklings.
was trash. Like Zima's
It's trash, and it's basically
Delicious.
it's
But we drank
it's Mike's
those.
Hard Lemonade Part 1.
Drop some
It's the
Skittles in that
prequel.
bitch.
I don't know about the Skittles part, but so you guys don't know about
You
this.
dropped some Skittles in a Zima, the panties dropped.
All right, this is a Brooklyn thing.
There's also Skittle Brew too, where you dropped them in beer, still drank it.
That's gross. My
fuck
vote would
you
be
then.
Natty Bo. Just because we drank a whole lot of Natty
And
Bo's
we mentioned it
in our
in a
time.
song. Well, Nick did, and
Yeah.
he was right too. I agree. Let's go with Natty Bo.
Natural Bohemian, you just made the list. How does that feel?
From a bunch
How
of
does
New
that feel,
Yorkers.
Crab State?
From a bunch of New Yorkers.
Yeah. Bunch of New Yorkers repping the Ohio.
Holla back,
The Maryland O.
Holla back,
You know?
had to throw that out there.
Thank you for watching.
I hope you enjoy
Unfriended.
yourself
If
a
you watch
nice
the whole
case of one of our
You
top
better.
fine beers.
We went all over the place, but I felt the love of this episode. I think we were honest.
Yeah.
I felt honest. I think he was honest.
I gotta say this.
What?
Come back.
Don't be a follower.
But follow us.
Later.